This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up with all the latest news, and join our Discord community to chat with players and fellow listeners. The Esoteric Order broadcasts from Santa Fe, New Mexico. We recognize these episodes are produced on the traditional territory of the Tewa-speaking Pueblo peoples, and we acknowledge their community, their ancestors, their elders both past and present, and future generations.
To be or not to be, that is not the question. I decided long ago to be. With me, it's what to be. Now make me some suggestions, good or bad, which is the best for me. When you're after fun and laughter, this
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present Killer-Diller, a Vampire the Masquerade duet chronicle, with Desiree Valdez as the storyteller.
This thing of being a good little goody is all very well. What can you do when you're loaded with plenty of help? And bigger when you're learning what lips are for. And it's naughty to ask for more. Let a lady confess I want to be bad.
All right. It's going. It's working. Cool. All right. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Oh, you doing? You're doing good. All right. Very good. Is there anything that you've thought about since the last session that you want to talk about?
Nothing on Mike.
Oh.
No.
Did we talk about things that I just forgot?
No, I don't think we did, actually. We talked about some other things, but yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm just looking forward to what's next, basically.
All right.
Yeah.
Why is it that we have other things to talk about? Like, usually have a lot of stuff to talk about, like, before we start playing.
Were you counting on that to eat into our time?
No. I'm like, oh, you have nothing to share? I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think mostly, maybe the other, yeah, I don't know. Every chronicle's different.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're filling out your character sheets. I don't know. What are you doing?
Well, I'm just taking notes on some of the mechanical effects of my merits and flaws, which I didn't get around to.
Mm-hmm.
So as a former ghoul, for example, I'm at -1 difficulty on all social rolls with neonates, and -1 difficulty... What is it? -1 difficulty on all rolls relating to vampiric knowledge.
Because you think you know some stuff.
I do know some stuff. Because I was a ghoul, blah, blah.
Was that the best thing that they could use to describe, like, someone who's, like, BFFs with vampires, like a ghoul? Was that the best description?
What would you have gone with?
I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
Well, I guess it's better than slave or servant or, like...
Sure, you don't want that.
Servant doesn't have the gravity. Slave is, like, kind of...
just a little bit.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
And then, like, but a ghoul, I guess, is fine.
Yep. Yeah, I guess
It sounds like they're followers.
Mm-hmm.
And they're dependent on blood if they get to that point. So...
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a riveting commentary on the game. So let's go ahead and try to get started here and kind of get into what's going on and what's happening in the game.
Yep.
So we last left Lucky where he was being introduced to Well, let's get some musica.
Yes, please. Set the mood.
For the love of God. All right.
You gotta butter me up first.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get into it. So, we are, like any good movie that's fun with, like, if you like that sort of thing, like movies.
Fun movies. I don't care for fun movies.
I just mean like any movie that has the conceit of jumping around in terms of time frames, and we've talked about television shows doing that. You know, what is television though, really? What is it? But in terms of, I don't know, a series, streaming, whatever it's called now.
Yes. A broadcast series.
A broadcast series, a serial, if you were.
Now on NBC.
Yes. They, you know, they jump around and they kind of, you know, and then film noir is very much about jumping around. And so part of the inspiration for this chronicle is like film noir and those types of movies. And even though it's set earlier than the film noir period,
right?
It's still kind of taking kind of bits and pieces from those things of just remembering like how you got into this situation.
Right.
How did I get here?
Right.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think with all of that, we're going to be jumping around, and we've done that before. We've kind of been sort of a style thing that we've done.
Yeah. In
some ways.
Yeah.
So, but this is, I think, our most jumpy.
Okay.
It jumps around, you know.
Okay.
And even if those digressions take the form of like a question, like, what do you remember about your first interaction with X or Y or so, you know?
Okay.
So there were a couple of loose ends that we really didn't get to tie up during the prelude that I want to get into, but I don't know if, like, we can just get the story kicked off and then kind of... Then
do like a flashback or something.
Yeah, we've done that in the past where with other things. I mean, I don't want to like talk about it to death, but just like we're trying to like those things aren't always clear until you start to really get to know the character. Like I don't know where they're going to live. I don't. Right. But you said that your character was living he was living in a boarding house.
Yeah.
And then after that, he has like this work office space, right? So he has like a work living space there. He chooses to live in this office that he's renting. And I don't know if that's permissible. I don't know how protected that is. Like you feel safe there.
Well, it's my domain. I put a dot into it. So right. So I do feel safe there. Okay. So maybe we can start at your home base. Okay. And then we can move our way out there. Perfect. And we can always go back to the night that you met Don Sebastian. Of course. And are you finding pieces of paper in a book? Yeah. What is that? What is it? Research. Far down. Determine. Okay. Interesting. Just some random sheet of notes I must have been using as a bookmark. Okay. Oh, okay. Go on. So I think what we're going to do... It was bookmarked on demons, by the way. I'm a demon. Yeah. So why don't we start with that? Why don't we start with your home base? Okay. And we can get back to the night that you met Don Sebastian for the first time. There may be, things that come through, pieces of that come through as you have your more experiences with him. Okay. But we know that you were introduced to him as you would a prince, because Los Angeles is, at this point in time, at least being overseen by the Camarilla. I think the Camarilla think that they're overseeing Los Angeles. And so there are structures in place. And I would say at the beginning of the 1900s is when there was like what you would consider all of that Camarilla wankery. Like, I'm biased. I'm a biased storyteller. Yeah, really? Whose side am I supposed to be on here? No, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. I'm playing an independent, so I don't really care. Well, here's the thing. The Camarilla, I have a mixed opinion about that. Well, no, I hate the Sabbath and the Camarilla. Yeah, let's get your biases out on the table here. We'll put it out there so people are aware. Yeah. If you're not already. No, I hate the Camarilla. I hate the Sabbath. There's no point to them.
of course, they're totally fun to play with. Like we're gonna play within those strictures, of course. But as an anarch/independent at heart, you know, that's kind of where my loyalties. That's where my loyalties lie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Camarilla have this more of a assimilative mindset of like living within the mortal world,
right,
and trying to do their best.
Yes.
They're still disgusting vampires.
Yes, they're still vampires, but...
The Sabbat are just straight up like, fuck you, we're going to take over. We're here to make your lives a living hell, and we enjoy doing it. So it's like, okay, like, I can see the merit. Like, what?
Go on.
I can see the merit in that. However, fuck it. It's still an organized structure. There's still going to be power plays. And
right.
If you listen to Black or White, or Black and White, Black or White...
I mean, if you want to listen to a Michael Jackson song,
well,
there are probably better ones, but, you know, I'm not going to stand in your way.
I don't even know the name. Oh, my goodness. Black and White.
Yes.
If you want to listen to Black and White, you can see how we navigate through these different political systems.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, we are going to hone in on Los Angeles in the early 1900s and how... the Camarilla have been welcomed into this space. They are established as, like, there's a prince, there's a sheriff. That's it, though, because the rest of the positions are, like, whatever, not that interesting to play in, I don't think.
Wow.
But we do have some primogens, but like primogenes, like how would you pronounce that?
I've always gone with primogen, but then again I also say Sabbat and Camarilla, which apparently are wrong as well.
Look, so here's the dealio.
It's probably pronounced, you know, Patrick.
This just made me think of SpongeBob. So
yeah.
Here's the deal. Camarilla, we pronounce it Camarilla. I think because we're both. Let's see. I mean, we're children of the West, right? You'd think you'd be like Camarilla, like yeah.
You'd think so,
but with all of the Anglo, I'd say Anglo, yeah. I don't know, white people settling into California.
Yeah,
there's all of these Spanish surnames that are pronounced in an anglicized way.
True.
So like for instance, like the city of well, no, Camarillo.
Yeah. No.
Why are we pronouncing?
You're undermining your own argument.
Why do we do that?
Because for some reason, all the kids who played vampire at my high school pronounced it that way.
And that's La Crescenda, right?
That's in Los Angeles.
Super white.
No, it's not super white.
Super
Armenian. No. Here's the thing: you can pronounce it Camarilla.
It sounds like diarrhea. That's like.
I think that's part of it. The German pronunciation is Camarilla, obviously, although it's spelled with a K.
Oh yeah.
Right, but
because otherwise it'd be Samaria. They pronounce a C.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's not get into it. But here's the thing: like the Camarilla, it was started. Who started it? Who started the Camarilla?
Hardstadt.
That's right, Hardstadt.
German, right?
Hello,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
And the Sabbat.
Yeah.
The Sabbat.
Yeah. I knew we had a reason.
Yeah, I'm like, there it is.
Oh, we got there.
This is like old person reasoning.
Got excited. It is old person reasoning.
We have to retrace our steps. All right, the Sabbat came out of Spain.
Yeah.
But with the La Sombra and everything.
Right.
So, you know, if it was a Sabbat institution, then we could make an argument that it should be pronounced Camarilla. But yes, a fucking German started
German
it.
created Camarilla.
Hello.
So it's pronounced Camarilla.
And then the whole Sabbat thing, I don't even want to get into.
I think that's just, I don't know what that is. I don't know where it came from. Again, we've talked about this repeatedly. It is a point of contention.
Yes.
But it's Sabbath.
It's the next culture war, basically.
Don't joke. Please don't joke. Jesus fucking Christ. It's October, y'all. It's October. So
more like Rocktober, am I right?
More like Cocktober.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
Getting into it, thankfully, with the Anarch movement, we don't have to worry about any pronunciation because it's Anarchs. So,
although that's supposed to be pronounced anarch, apparently, but
anarch. The anarch.
The anarch.
Yeah. All right.
I'm like 600-year-old Simishi.
picturing the elder from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Pronouncing it like that.
Yeah.
On arch. All right. So
what do you got?
we're in the early 1900s. It's Los Angeles.
All right.
Pronounce it however you want. But the Camarilla.
Wow.
Okay. Camarilla are overseeing Los Angeles currently.
Correct.
Okay. And so
it's a Camarilla town.
It is a Camarilla town.
Okay.
It's
as is all of California.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So Los Angeles is no different. I mean, it's a very young, in the scheme of things, it's a very young city.
It's a city on the grow. Mm-hmm.
And the Camarilla have definitely infiltrated, I'll say. They're definitely part of the landscape for Cainite society.
Mm-hmm. Like they were there from the jump.
No.
As far as Cainites.
They were welcomed in. They were allowed to be there.
By whom?
I don't know.
Oh. But they would pitch it as like, we've been here from the start.
Yes. So apparently they've already gotten to you. So the propaganda the Camarilla is promoting is that they've been there from the beginning, and that they've been overseeing the wheelings and dealings.
Just trying to get in character.
And they've been a part.
It's not that Lucky would know anything about the deep history of vampire LA.
I wasn't getting into that.
Yeah, I'm just saying like that's his understanding.
Explain again. Say it again.
Is that the Camarilla was like basically the first Cainites to arrive in Los Angeles were Camarilla.
Yes.
And therefore it's a Camarilla town.
Yes. They've always been there.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah.
Whereas his connections with the excuse me one moment as I consult my diligent notes. Very gradually the sheet will fill up.
I know.
So his associations with the Martinez syndicate,
yes,
if we want to call it that or something similar, basically they're up from Mexico,
yes,
and they arrived afterwards. They arrived after the Camarilla had established themselves.
They have, however, they still have their branch in Mexico City. Now you know that based on interactions with Miguel Angel and the whole family there. Miguel Angel, that the Sabbat is like definitely a problem in Mexico. Like they have to make sure the Martinez family does a lot to make sure that they are protected. But you've never it's not like they call upon the Camarilla to help them in any capacity.
Right.
But they're having to walk the line when it comes to Sabbat nonsense there, And Miguel Angel's perspective on that is like, let them have it. I'm busy doing my stuff. As long as they're not encroaching on my ability to have my family thrive and be comfortable, I'm whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But to watch out.
Okay.
Because as you've heard and over the years, the La Sombra and the Shimashi, they're very much established in Mexico City. It's definitely And in fact, during certain conversations and spending time with the Martinez family as an older, as you've become established as a Cainite now and all that, you had a flashback because one night they were talking about, they brought up the White Widow.
Right.
La Viuda Blanca. The White Widow.
Okay.
And it's a known Cainite who traverses the streets among other places, and she's all in white. And you remember back to when you were a teenage kid walking through the alleyways late at night, and you were followed, and that's when Neftali was like, hey, that's when you first met him.
Right.
So yeah. So she'll go out. I mean, she was probably looking to feed actually that night when you think back on it. Of those nails against the street, against the ground, how long her arms were, and all in white she was, just moving, following you. So, In terms of other Canaanites in Mexico City, just you know who the factions are and where they are.
Okay.
In Los
So I have
Angeles.
a connection to there.
You do. So looking back, though, the Camarilla really weren't around, but they are very much in Los Angeles. So knowing that, there's the main players that you know. So the Prince, Don Sebastian, who you were introduced to. And we're definitely going to delve into, like, interactions with him because, you know, he's the prince of the city, which means that what he says goes.
Right. Right.
What's the wildest rumor that you heard about Don Sebastian when you, after first meeting him? Like, so you first met him in 1912.
Yeah.
And so let's say right now you are in your haven and we're thinking back on our long life at this point. And we're thinking back maybe on that night that you had met him. And so I ask you, what's the wildest rumor that you heard about Don Sebastian?
I ask you again, sir. So, okay. Let me set the scene,
Great.
if you don't mind.
No problem.
All right. What year is it, by the way?
Let's say we're starting in 1922.
Okay.
So it's been about 10 years since you were first introduced to the prince.
Okay.
You know the sheriff.
Yep. Do we have a name for the
Yes.
sheriff? Okay.
Yeah. So her name is Florence Hugo.
Florence Hugo. Cool.
She is...
Do we have an image for these?
I do,
Oh, good.
but I can describe her.
Please do. Start with that. Yeah.
So you first met Florence a couple months after meeting Don Sebastian. Because once you were brought into the fold by the prince, and we can go back to that night because he wanted to see how lucky you actually were.
Wah. All right.
What? This is what you came here for.
Yeah, I know. And
Ma'am,
then-
this is a vampire game.
It's like getting on a roller coaster. There's always that moment where you're like, why did I get on this roller coaster?
Why am I here? So Florence Hugo is the sheriff of Los Angeles.
Okay.
She's the right hand of Don Sebastian. And he has many layers of Canaanites and humans that he drags around with him.
Sure.
At all times.
He's corrugated cardboard. He has many layers. Go on.
He's like, yeah. He's like a puff pastry
There you go.
of the vampire world.
Is he a rough puff though?
No,
Oh, he's a full puff.
he's full puff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's a
it's
standard
intense.
puff. Yeah. So Florence,
And she's an enriched dough to go with his puff pastry.
so Florence Hugo is the sheriff.
Yes.
As you know, as you've learned over the years, that the sheriff's role is that of like the enforcer. So
Yeah.
what she does is she knows what the prince wants and she makes sure that it happens. And you've found that over the years that there's, like, as you've gotten to know her, she's very calm. She's super stable.
Okay.
So Florence Hugo is tall. She's like 5'11"
Oh, okay.
for a woman.
Nice.
Very tall and thin, very angular.
Okay. Just looking for a bookmark. Keep going.
Do you want a piece of paper? I can give you a piece of paper. Let's do some ASMR for the kids.
Well, there you go. I'm there. All right. And then, wait a minute. I'll do this too. Ooh, that's good. Hold on. I'm just bookmarking my my blood magic section so that I don't
What?
have to constantly search for them.
Oh my god!
All right.
I thought you have some little Post-it notes for that.
I do, and I'll mark up the book properly later. But
I could
I'm
have sworn I've
glad that
asked you
we.
that question in the past.
I'm glad that we actually, you gave me some really good ones around
I
somewhere.
did. Yeah, I did.
There
All
they
right.
are. They're right behind me. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Let us scoop. So Florence Hugo
There
is.
goes the goddamn floor. All right.
She's
Yeah.
So she's 5'11".
Okay.
Very tall, very thin, very dark skin. Like she's darker than Wilma Hudson.
Oh wow. Okay.
Very dark.
Okay.
Her hair is basically like it's not not anything you've ever seen. It's like a strange, like the sides are shaved and the top is very, she has very like springy curly hair.
Okay.
And it's very even. Like it almost looks square.
Oh, wow.
Like the top of her head is square, which is very odd to you. Like you've never seen anything like that before. Right. She wears these long, beautiful tailored suits.
Okay.
She usually always has a cigarette.
Okay.
Which is very strange.
Yeah.
It's just like an eccentricity.
No kidding.
She
one of those affectations.
She's very striking. But she's very androgynous. Like, so when you see her, I mean, she's very beautiful, but also very handsome at the same time. Got it. So it's very like, her voice is very commanding. Even more so. Like you've been around people who have all different, I mean, there's all different types. You've all different types of Canaanites in terms of the way they speak, but she's like when she speaks, everyone's paying attention, like whether they want to or not. Like you'll see people just stopping mid-sentence. Like she'll just come in the room and start talking. Excuse me. And sorry,
yeah, I'm a little
froggy today. Little froggy.
Yeah.
And so but like when she talks, everyone stops. Even you can see even the prince, like he's used to her being like that. You can tell because I mean obviously they've worked together for a while, but like it's even more so. Like it's like he even like can't stop himself from just paying attention to her.
Right, right.
She has dark brown eyes, and yeah, that's Florence.
Okay, so I'll just remind you, I have the lawman's friend Merit. Would you like me to
go
remind
into
you of that? For whatever reason, maybe your winning smile or perhaps just your superb groveling technique, the local sheriff in charge of discipline likes you. She's inclined to overlook your minor trespasses and let you in on things you're not supposed to know about. She even gives you warnings about occasional crackdowns and times when the higher-ups aren't feeling generous. Of course, abusing this connection might well turn a friendly vampire into an enemy, and the change may not be apparent until it's too late.
Oh. Yeah, so from the beginning, Florence has taken a shine to you. She likes you. She thinks you're funny. Although, I don't know, are you well known for your joking?
My sense of humor.
Yeah.
Maybe like kind of a dark sense of humor, a dry sense of humor, you know.
Yeah. So she appreciates that. And so she has sort of been a bit more welcoming to you than other kindred have been.
Okay.
But like since you have the sheriff on your side, like a lot of people you notice like aren't fucking with you. Like people that may want to. Right. So over the years, and we're talking of a span between you meeting the prince and then going into your haven, like where you're in your haven right now, which we'll get to in just a moment.
Of course.
But there is like a Primogen council of kindred. And so the clans that are represented at this point in time are the Nosferatu, Toreador,
okay,
Ventru, La Sombra.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what? Is that weird?
Wait, let's see. We had Toreador, Nosferatu, Ventru. Well, Somber or Sabbat clan.
I know.
So why would they be sitting on the Primogen Council? It's a Camarilla organization.
That's a good question.
Okay. I'm going to put a question mark next to that.
And then the Shimishi.
Okay, now you're just getting ridiculous.
No, I'm just getting ridiculous.
I'm putting a question mark and an exclamation point next to that one.
So what are your thoughts on this? Like, what are your thoughts on those people being part of the mix?
Well, it certainly explains why in 13 Candles there were La Sombra and Shimishi running around in LA. Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a shit. You know, I'm like, I'm not Camarilla.
Right.
But I guess, I don't know why. Maybe it would just be normal to me since I've never lived in another Camarilla city before. So, and like I said, I'm not super interested in like politics of these sects, you know. So. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't really always see like the council. Like you'll see that they represent maybe the interests of those places, of those people, those clans. But there's really not like any baronies or anything. Like it's just Los Angeles.
Right, yeah.
And Don Sebastian is that's
He's
all.
the prince.
What he says goes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sure.
Having these other people nearby, you know, could it be like, you know, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Like, what's that all about?
Interesting.
Why would the prince have these people around?
So these would be, well, okay. All right, that's fine.
What? What's wrong?
Well, no, I'm trying to, as a player, sort out how that could work. But anyway, that's fine. I'll find out.
I want to hear about it.
Well, it's just there are anti-tribu or anti-tribu. I don't fucking know. And then actually, when you said Primogen Council, we were joking about how we're mispronouncing that as well. I was got this sudden like image of Michael Ian Black going Primogen, Primogen. The Primogen or Primogen Council.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, so
anyway,
anti-tribute.
Yeah, those guys. But those are all like people who have left the Camarilla, right? They're like, hey, I may be Toreador, but fuck the Camarilla. You know, I don't want to be associated with those guys.
Right.
And I'm going to go join the Sabbat, right?
Right.
Does it go the other way? Because of the blood bond, you know,
question.
That's a thing.
The Valdery.
And all that. Yeah, not the blood bond, the Valdery.
Oh, wait, no, you actually said it correctly the first time.
Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm genuinely curious what's up with that. What up with that?
Yeah.
So, cool. So that was the Primogen Council.
Primogen Council, yeah.
All right, who else?
What
else is going on?
Yeah, no, those are the only ones that you've been able to identify over time.
Here's the thing, as we settle slowly into this.
Because, wait, really quickly.
Yes.
I just want to say.
Yeah.
I feel stupid for, what? I'm just thinking, like, do you know what these clans are? Do you know how many clans exist? So this is when we get back. This is when we get back into these ideas.
Yeah.
And so like I played I showed my hand, unfortunately. But I'm just thinking about it now, and I was like, oh, well, your character doesn't know. Like, you might be privy to, like, maybe Toreadors and Nosferatu, honestly.
True. I hear what you're saying. Like, you know, people aren't walking around with little name tags.
I mean, and again, I'm still, like, enamored of this idea that you wouldn't know, like, what a person's clan is just by looking at them.
I completely agree. I think the Primogen Council might be an exception, though.
Exactly.
It's almost like a party affiliation.
It is.
So it's like you would kind of know.
Right.
And as far as knowing what these clans are, I might be an independent, but because I've, you know, as a former ghoul, first off, I actually get a, you know, bonus to know about vampiric lore, just right there. And I think as an independent, it would behoove me to know who all the different factions are, because it would help me to navigate more effectively between them.
So over time, you've learned.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing about this chronicle is that this is kind of the first time we are jumping in with a character who is well established in the vampire world. Like, Charlotte was old, technically, but she had been very sheltered for most of her unlife. And so she still didn't know a lot about how the outside world worked. But, you know, with Lucky, we have a character who, let's see here, has been embraced for 12 years at this point, but he was ghouled 18 years before that. So he's been living that, you know, La Vida Noche for like 30 years, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So
he's picked up on some stuff.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I think we can err on the side of him being knowledgeable. Now, I was going to say, as a player for myself, you talked about your biases. Just to kind of circle back to that. So, as I've mentioned, I believe before on this very podcast, but my actual introduction to Vampire the Masquerade, outside of just knowing what it was, knowing it by reputation, was GURPS Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes.
Which came out technically after 2nd edition, but it was pretty much straight lifted from 1st edition. Mm-hmm. So it reflected a lot of like 1st edition kind of world building.
Right.
So there's a part of my brain that is still very much like keyed in on that, and part of that is in 1st edition, you only had the 7 Camarilla clans, and that's what was in GURPS Vampire. And so there's still this part of my brain, even though I've been running an Anarch campaign and that spoilers, bled over into a Sabbath campaign, no pun intended. Even though I've been doing all that, really, like, I came into the lore through the Camarilla. You know what I mean? So there's this part of me that's like, oh yeah, the 7 clans, they're Camarilla clans, and never shall any other clan breach that bubble. You know what I mean? So, and I don't, all the Sabbath stuff and all the Anarch stuff, I've just been kind of like absorbing on an as needed basis. Plus, it wasn't going into like kid brain like the Camarilla stuff did, when my brain was still soft and spongy and not calcified like a dried out apricot,
a dried out piece of chewing gum.
Yeah, or that, yeah. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's why I'm like, But anyway, please carry on.
All right. So
I do have a soft spot for the Camarilla, though. I know you hate them with the fire of 1,000
They're
suns.
The worst. They're just hypocrites and nonsense.
But because they were my first, and like, it's just like no, the Camarilla are the good guys, and they're the, they're the ones that
they're not.
You should be playing as the default. Oh my God, are you marking up my personal file?
I'm adding these.
You're putting little notes in.
Yeah.
Difficult player.
Yeah.
Camarilla sympathizer.
Fuck. Here's the thing. You know me. Like, I play fast and loose with this stuff. Like,
I know.
Like, I don't really find it in any way important in terms of...
I don't find any of this lore important.
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like if you were gonna talk about it, you would be including Malkavians, right? You'd be including Bruja, Tremere, I hate, and in addition to these other peeps, but they're strangely absent.
Right. Well, and I understand that. I understand the Primogen Council doesn't always have a quorum of like every single clan.
No. And I feel like the whole anti-tribute thing, I think, like, I understand the Valkyrie blah, blah, blah. But blood magic is interesting, complicated, and can change things very quickly. So, with that being said... What?
Okay.
What?
No, let's carry on. Let's see.
Do you have a problem with this? Are you not like buying into it? Is it hard to believe?
I am.
Because if it is, I can modify.
No, it's not that bad. It's not like ducks riding toads or anything like that.
Oh my God. No, but be honest with me.
Yeah, no, it was surprising. It did shock me to hear that. But if you have an in-game reason for it, then I am curious. I'm definitely curious.
Okay, so we're thinking about all these people that are swirling around. You have your sheriff, you have the council, you have the prince. These are all these different individuals that you're navigating. And so at any given time, you may be asked to do something for the prince, or, you're being included in certain ways that, means that you're part of this group, this larger group of Canics who live in Los Angeles. And so, in terms of your wheelings and dealings with the prince, how are you seeing that take shape? Do you like it when he calls upon you to work on things? Like, what are the types of tasks that he wants you to work on?
You had a question earlier too. Like, what's the wildest rumor I've heard? Right?
Exactly that too.
Okay. And so, that's as I'm lying in my haven, thinking about things. Okay. So.
I hope I've made that clear.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just picturing my haven right now.
Okay.
Trying to construct it in my mind.
Okay.
It falls into place.
Mm-hmm.
Little tiles.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. I'm just thinking about what would be the best. What would be the best way to protect myself from the sun and from hostile people.
Well, have you been attacked before? Like, have you?
I don't think so. No, not in that way. Not in my haven.
Right.
But you never be too sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be careful about these sorts of things.
You do. Yeah, I mean, Wilma's told you like different things that she does to keep herself safe in her home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She has different rooms and different kind of like trapdoors and different things that she can utilize where she can easily access darkness in the home.
Okay.
But that's her home.
Right.
You're living in like an office.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like a work living office area. So what does it look like?
So it looks right. So if we had a little tracking shot down a hallway past some other doors. These are all your classic, early 20th century office doors with the frosted glass and the transom windows. Mm-hmm. Probably like some linoleum on the floor, and it's all the way down at the very end. The hall terminates in a window with a fire escape. And then to the left is a door. And so the door opens as the camera pushes through. Mm-hmm. And we enter into a medium-sized office. Mm-hmm. Maybe about 30 by 40 feet. Mm-hmm. Not capacious, not huge. There are 3 large plate glass windows on the opposite wall, all of which have blinds pulled down. Mm-hmm. The sun is setting, so the room is growing dim. And, it's just your classic kind of PI's office, like
a wooden desk.
There's a wooden desk,
chair.
Swivel chair, lots of crap on top of the desk.
Like what?
Just a lot of like papers and notebooks and inkwell with a pen.
Is your name on the door?
Let's see. Oh my goodness. Creatures of the night.
In the middle of the day.
In the middle of the day. I think. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking. Okay. So there's a logo on the door that is a triangle.
Okay. What?
Inset.
I thought you didn't want to play Tremere.
You know what? It's a triangle inside of a circle.
Oh my god.
That's not the Tremere sign.
Are you sure about that?
Pretty sure. Hold on. Yeah. Oops, I accidentally played a Tremere. Let's see here. Tremere.
It's a square. Sorry, it's a square within a circle within a square.
Yeah, and then there's like a triangle on the outside. Yeah, square inside a circle with a triangle on the outside. Yeah. Looks very postmodern. Very
very stupid.
Very stupid. Yeah, it's not one of my favorites. Okay. So, it is a triangle inside of a circle. Inside the triangle is a like just a sort of generic face, like a man's face.
Okay.
With a this is a little shout out. Speaking of other clans, with a little third eye action going on.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. But the overall design looks very like kind of like out of some sort of theosophy manual, from like 1885,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, it just says, Berganza Detective Agency.
Okay.
And anyway, so that's on the door.
Okay.
And then, so you've got your classic big, heavy oak desk weighed down by stacks of papers, file folders, notebooks, inkwell. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a shaded lamp, swinging, a swivel chair. Maybe a little leather wallet with a zipper around the side, like a doctor's syringe wallet, perhaps.
Okay.
And then, yes, there are filing cabinets. They are wooden. The whole overall appearance of the place is, it looks like it was furnished in 1905, so it's a bit old and musty, No carpeting.
Is it hardwood floor?
Hardwood floor, yes. And there's a wash basin that's somewhat dusty and cobwebbed. There is a small, let's see, 1922. There is a mirror above the wash basin. It's got a medicine cabinet. And anything else? It's pretty sparsely furnished, I think. So overhead light sconce, and also like a floor lamp. That's about it. No plants,
Do you have curtains over the windows?
No, just the blinds, the pull down blinds.
So where do you stay?
Okay, so as the camera pushes into this office and we take it in, the last rays of the sun disappear and the shades grow dark. Each shade has that same symbol on it, printed on it. And then from the it's like a three stack or 3 column filing cabinet, right? There's 3 separate stacks of cabinets. The bottom, though, begins to slide open all as one.
Oh.
So it's like a false front on the bottom.
Cool.
And so that just kind of slides out on some well-oiled rollers. And then a middle-aged man looking kind of a little ragged, a little like what the cat dragged in, slowly sits up out of the reclining posture within, maybe like having to grab the side, like heave himself up, and then just kind of looks around, scratches the perpetual stubble on his face, and blinks a little bit, and then clambers out and gives it a little kick, and it rolls right back in, and then there's like a sound of a lock mechanism engaging. He's wearing, of course, high-belted pants.
All right.
And an undershirt. I guess he's ahead of the curve since it happened one night. It hasn't come out yet, but anyway, heading over, there is one other door, which is next to the wash basin, which is access to a closet. Just a small little closet, but within which hang, shirts, coats,
ties.
There's a
How many hats do you have?
shelf for. I'm gonna have to do some hat research, but I think like 3. So dresses, puts on the shirt, coat, hat, and this whole time just thinking about that rumor that I heard
Recently?
recently about Don Sebastian. The wildest rumor that I've yet heard to date, because he is kind of a wild guy. But this one, if true, would be quite a scandal.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was quite a scandal. Which is simply that he is funneling. That he's running a, as they would call it at the time, a white slavery ring.
What? Wow.
So this is a, this is a term, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's basically the idea of what we would nowadays call sort of a combination between sex trafficking and enforced labor, right? Like kidnapping people and either putting them to work in brothels or putting them to work in sweatshops, essentially.
Right.
Or getting them hooked on drugs and, using that as leverage against them and that kind of thing. So he's running a white slavery ring. But even worse is that he is funneling some of the people that he's having kidnapped into his own personal, stable for use as feeding vessels, basically.
Oh my! Who'd you hear that from?
Well, I don't know. We're still establishing things, but let's see here. I have 3 contacts. I'm not sure. Did we even establish who they are contacts for?
Nope.
Okay. So I have 3 contacts, and I have, of course, other people. But let's say I heard it from one of my contacts.
Oh, okay.
And let's use this opportunity to define that contact as being someone in the LAPD.
You want an LAPD contact?
I do. I'm a private investigator. I need an in with the cops.
No, I know. No. I'm not saying you don't.
All right.
All right.
So he works in Vice. He's an LAPD Vice cop, Vice detective. And yeah, he didn't tell me explicitly, but he did say that there's been a wave of kidnappings amongst younger folk in some of the more affluent neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And that a couple bodies have now been turning up out in the canyons, and they've been found, exsanguinated.
Oh, really?
And so, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
Like, oh, it's Don Sebastian, and he's using some of them for food.
Right. Okay. So that person is it's like Officer Torres.
Okay.
First name is Raphael.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh no. You did not.
No, it's not. It's Raul.
Raul. And if you want to know why that's funny, watch On Cinema at the Cinema. Okay.
Raul Torres. So he's an officer there, and so he's, you know him. You've met in a couple different instances. Your paths have crossed. He's definitely in your corner. Definitely knows the true nature of things, but definitely doesn't talk about it.
Okay.
So you heard that rumor from him, saying this is what we found, this is what we're assuming is going on. So just letting you know that we know. It's not entirely clear to you, like, how many people in LAPD are really aware of the K-Nights, like, in the city.
Yeah.
It's a little uncertain.
Or how much Don Sebastian is pulling the strings.
Exactly. Like, there's a couple of instances where you think that they know more than you realize, but it's not entirely clear.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you're thinking about that, and you suddenly smell cigarette smoke.
Oh shit.
In your office.
Yeah.
as you turn from your getting dressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see Florence sitting in one of the chairs. And you just see the flicker of the end of the cigarette, the brightly lit, end of the cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
As she, quote, inhales.
Right. Pulls the smoke in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, so you've heard that, eh?
And I said, am I starting to talk to myself in my old age?
She just smiles. You can't really tell if the answer is yes or no.
So I just finished doing my tie, and then walk over and flop down in the swivel chair as it squeaks extravagantly, and I throw my feet up on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, well, what can I do for you, Sheriff?
I haven't seen you in a while, so I just wanted to check to see how you were doing. You really haven't come to any of our parties lately.
No, you know me, I'm not much of a party guy.
Oh, but it's not as much fun without you there.
Mm-hmm. Well, you never invite me.
So she flicks the ash into the ashtray on your desk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have it there as a courtesy for
exactly.
other people.
Yeah.
So she says, "Oh, I can leave now. I mean, if you're expecting clients to come in."
No. Things have been a little slow lately, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
If you have any idea, I'd love to hear it.
She just kind of looks out the window. Wait, have you opened up the windows? Like you've pulled the shades up?
Yeah, I think I would have done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's just looking out the window. Maybe as you're talking, like you're pulling the shades up before you sit down in your chair.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so she says, well, I can give you a case. We have some weird kind of mischief going on. It's mostly canine related. Mortals kind of get into the mix from time to time, as you know, but this is a weird, something I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Do tell.
Well, as you know, we do have a variety of canites in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just not quite sure how many of them are dedicated to the prince.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure that they are actually loyal to him. And I don't have to tell you who they are. I think you know who they are.
Do I? All right.
So your mind flicks to particularly a figure that you've seen from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes by the name of Sister Bliss.
Oh my goodness.
And she's very strange. She's very odd. Okay. She does wear like a nun's outfit at all times.
Okay.
Anytime you see her at the parties, you just see her there. She's very, very striking, but just also she's just really scary looking. Mm-hmm. Like her presence is really creepy. Mm-hmm. And a couple times I think you've checked her aura.
Oh, I don't have Auspex.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you said you had Auspex.
No, I have Dominate.
You took that instead?
It's not an instead. It's not even a discipline for Giovanni.
I could have sworn that you said you were taking Auspex. But...
No, I got 2 in Dominate and 2 in Necromancy. Now, I do have Sepulchre Path, which allows me to see, spirits and that kind of thing. But it's not quite the same.
I feel like I'm failing. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Right.
It's not your job to remember every detail about my character. That's my job.
Yeah, but I could have sworn you had Auspex. That's weird.
No, Charlotte.
I know.
Now, hold on.
So, wait, let me go on.
Oh, just a question. When you're talking about parties, are you talking about Elysium?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, these are just parties that Don Sebastian throws? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
gotcha.
no. There's different locations, different themes,
Oh, Lord. Okay.
They've made the news from time to time.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
They run the gamut. Sometimes they're in the canyon. Sometimes like different like they might be in Topanga Canyon, Laurel Canyon, like Mulholland. You know, like they're all over the place. Beverly Hills, going out into the valley, like to have like a cowboy theme or whatever.
Yeah,
like
right.
he like there, you know that he has these extravagant parties. So what I meant to say in terms of Auspex, Florence takes another like drag quote from her cigarette. And it's just funny because you watch her do this. It's like she's just like pretending to do this.
Right.
Like it's this thing that she just does.
Right. It's like how I can pretend to be breathing.
Right.
If I want to fit in more with other people.
Yeah.
Who are alive.
Right. So she says, I've checked her aura from time to time, and it's very difficult to know what's going on in a given day. It runs the gamut from being like super aggressive to, you know, just hateful. And she also just seems very like the colors shift constantly. And so when she's saying that, she realizes like you may not understand what that means. And she says, what I'm trying to say is that she is carrying something with her that feels incongruous to her connection to us. Like she doesn't seem to want to participate in the ways that we need her to. We need someone to just run her off. We don't want her around anymore. She's not a necessary part of our council or the city.
All right. So you want me to do your dirty work?
She just smiles. What else do you do? Except the dirty work.
Fair point.
So she just laughs. She puts her cigarette out. So she looks at you. Can I entrust you to figure out what's going on with her and run her out of here?
I'll look into it.
You know that the prince can reward you generously.
Yeah, I'm aware
Whatever
of that.
you want, he can get.
That's fine. I just, I'll do it. I just can't guarantee that it's going to go down the way you'd prefer.
What are you talking about?
I need to find out some more information about this person.
She's not really a person. Just think of it that way. And she stands up and she leaves. You hear her heels clicking down the hall. She's not wearing high heels, but just like her, you know, like wingtips, you know.
All right, yeah.
Just click, click, click down the... She's gone.
Cool. I'll just be meditating on the scrunched up cigarette butt in the ashtray as it smolders.
Suddenly you have a radio, correct?
Why not?
I want to force these things on you.
No, that's fine. I'll take it. If you want to give me a radio, I'll take it.
Okay.
Broadcast radio or like
Yes.
a police band radio?
Broadcast radio.
Oh,
You probably
okay.
have a police band radio, I'm sure.
Yeah, although I don't know. I don't know if they're using them at this point.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
anyway, there is
yeah.
a radio and it has like 3 or 4 stations on it, actually.
Sure. Okay.
And so it just kind of flickers on. And you hear a voice of it sounds like this woman that's in full sway of talking to a congregation.
Okay.
Saying, they're out there. These demons are out there. And they don't care who or what you believe in. They are very real. And they are coming after you. And so that's why we need to be strong with Jesus. We need to understand our relationship with God in order to combat these demons. They will suck the life out of you without giving any mind to anything that you say. They are stronger than you, they are bigger than you, and they will come for you. But what can save you is Jesus Christ. And so you hear the congregation just getting really excited. And they're agreeing with her. And so then suddenly there's some music going. And then there's like a fade out. And that was Reverend Agnes Cutler coming to you from First AME Church.
You've got to be kidding me. I love it.
And she as you know, she broadcasts every night, Monday through Friday. You can see her. So they say when her services are on Sunday mornings, Saturday, et cetera. Have services on Wednesday evenings, et cetera. Blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And then it goes into a commercial for some soap.
Some soap flakes. I was literally thinking, like, what is this, Leon's mom? All right.
But she sounds very cogent. She sounds like she knows what she's talking about. She sounds like she has seen some shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She sounds like people believe her.
Leon's grandma.
Yeah.
Leon's mom. Leon's grandma. Anyway. All right. So I'll get up and like kind of bang the radio, like wallop the radio on the side and then turn it off. You know, like
it's still kind of
this thing's always coming on.
Yeah, it's kind of flickering off and on.
I like, I really like that actually, like a sentient radio that just comes on at different times.
Yep.
Okay.
So the evening,
Sister Bliss.
Yes. So it is a Thursday night.
Okay.
It is September. It is 1922.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a lot of traffic outside. It's a pretty still night. There's not really a whole lot of animal sounds like you're in the city proper. Mm-hmm. So you're in the Bunker Hill area.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm looking out over this urban landscape of, buildings clustered very tightly packed together as they trace their way up and down these rather steep hills. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of them are these kind of already looking a little rundown, sort of residential apartments.
Really? They're looking run down already?
Yeah. That's the world of darkness,
Oh, I see.
And just a little frayed around the edges,
Do you get mail at the office?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your nightly routine usually?
Well, let's see where I'm stacked for blood points. I realize I did not get dice.
Oh my god.
I know, it's pretty bad.
I have my dice out.
Oh, well. Congratulations to you.
Thank you. All right, you got your dice out. Good job.
All right, had to turn that into a whole like tea ceremony level.
Apparently.
Production. Okay, so let's see where I'm at for blood points. I have a blood pool 12. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sorry, how would you like me to determine where I'm at?
Well, it depends on what your nightly routine is like. Like, what does your routine look like? I mean, I need to know that before I can, like, designate, like, how are you doing?
Okay. Oh, I should have a herd. That's what I need. I need a herd of junkies that I feed off of.
All right, go on.
Hold on. I might have to change some dots around here.
Oh, no. All right, what are you going to change? Change those dots. Change them around.
That's right. All right, I'm going to take out one dot of generation.
Okay.
So I'll actually be 12th.
Okay.
And...
Damn, that's...
What?
That's really flimsy.
Oh, okay. Okay, Miss Diablery over here with your...
Excuse me, wait.
Eighth generation vampire.
Wait. I think it was 7. But first of all, second of all, I was not a choice.
First of all, how dare you?
First of all, how dare you? Second of all, for getting the details wrong. And then also, like, he did what he needed to do. So don't start.
That's what they always say.
Oh, my God.
At the end of the day.
Right,
All right. So I put one dot in herd.
Yep.
So that gives me 3 vessels.
Yeah.
And then, generation makes me 12th, which is 11 blood pool. Okay. All right. Still counts for something.
Yeah. So how many?
11 blood pool.
11.
So I think I don't. Well, now I gotta look at addiction. Hold on.
I can look it up too.
I got it bookmarked here.
Well, so do I.
Oh well, let's see who finds it first.
I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to like. How do I find my highlights and?
Highlights?
Yeah. Like I used to be able to just find every single thing I've highlighted before.
Oh really?
And now I can't.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Because I don't know how to use. Oh, I got it.
Good.
Oh no.
Nope.
I don't got
Never
it.
mind. Take it back. Okay, addiction. You suffer from an addiction to a substance which must now be present in the blood you drink. I see. Okay. So I'm not. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Just was wondering if it was like compelling me to drink more often, but it's not. So
No.
it's still my choice of how often to drink. I just have to make sure that the substance is in the blood.
Right.
Okay,
So how's your morphine supply looking?
you know I always keep that topped up. But
Do you? The
of course I do.
pharmacist? The pharmacist was one of your contacts, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Pharmacist.
Raphael Torres.
Oh my god. George Bailey.
Don't.
So, let's see. I probably don't, because I get so incapacitated by feeding, and it's such a goddamn production.
Yeah, good job. Every time.
Yep. Yep. I can't just have it be normal.
Nope.
Can't just have those fangs pop out and, you
Nope.
know, sexy saxophone starts playing. Nope. No, ma'am. So because it's such a production, I try not to push it too close to hunger level,
Right.
which, what was that? Humanity minus 10? Wasn't that it?
Yes.
So that would be 4. So I get hangry
Yes.
at 4 blood or less.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So try not to get it too close to that, but at the same time, it's not like I'm out there every night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that as I get down towards like half, so between 5 and 6,
Right.
you know, that's
Yeah.
when I'm going to go out to feed.
Okay.
So,
All right.
shall I roll?
Yeah, let's do it. So 1d10?
Yep. Any additional bonuses or?
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus because you're starting out. So,
Aren't you kind?
it's our first session. So
Yeah.
I'll give it a +2.
Okay, good. That way I won't be on one blood.
That's right.
One blood
That's
point.
right. I don't want to handle that. I don't feel like playing in that. So
No,
thank
don't
you.
want to do that. Oh, look at that. I rolled a 10.
Ooh.
So I'm actually at max blood.
Wow. So so tell me about your last feeding session.
Well, shit. So as I indicated, I do have a herd of junkies
Yep.
that,
Can you figure out a different way to describe them?
you know, I'm using the terminology from the time period just to like kind of punch up that noir feeling. So, you know, it's like William S. Burroughs, you know?
Okay.
This is how I would think of them, you know?
Right. That's rude.
It is
Yeah, your
rude.
character's kind of a shit on multiple levels.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I get it.
yeah.
No, I'm not, no judgment. I'm just acknowledging the reality.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by all means, you know, we're exploring
Although
we're exploring some interesting spaces.
You have conflicted feelings about women and their roles and like if they're good or quote bad.
Yeah.
You have no problem using people who are, you know, dependent on drugs to use as your blood supply.
Correct.
And then now you are then addicted to that substance as well.
Yes, that's right.
You are doing the dirty work of many, many different canites and humans alike.
Yep.
And you have been living with an organized crime syndicate since you were like 16 or 14 years old.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
right on task.
Absolutely. Look,
Cool.
if we're going to play a chronicle that's heavily influenced by noir, you know, we can't have any... It's got to be all shades of gray, man. We can't have any completely sympathetic protagonist here.
I'm not, no.
So...
But there is sympathy for people because you find out their weaknesses and then you can feel empathy.
Indeed. We've already discussed a couple weaknesses here.
Okay.
So, that all
So
being
you must
said...
have fed the night before.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so how did that go down? What do you usually do?
Well, this is maybe an opportunity for me to think about, like who these 3 people are.
Right.
They're probably all different, and I just kind of rotate between the 3 so that they have a chance to renew their blood supply
right.
and not get too strung out, because honestly, if I usually wait until I'm at about 5 or 6 blood points, that's like I'm feeding every 5 days roughly. So that means I'm seeing each person on average twice a month.
That's not bad, but that's still pretty. That's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you take from them, like that's not good.
Ooh, no.
Have any of your herd died before?
Oh, I'm sure. Probably once at my hand when I got a little carried away with the blood. And also just since I'm maintaining these people as addicts, there's the inevitable overdoses that occur as well, either on their own or when I'm around.
Okay.
So I think that herd member number 1
okay.
is they work at a nightclub. And they are the torch song singer at this nightclub.
Okay.
And she had a promising career, before she got hooked on smack.
Okay.
I don't know, that's heroin, but whatever. Whatever morphine's called. Hooked on Lady M. And
oh my god. Okay.
And so now she's kind of like slowly falling down the rungs of the nightclub circuit. So this is kind of a dingy, seedy little bar nightclub, maybe, just in a less affluent part of town, which I'm not sure in 1922 what that would be, but less affluent part of LA. And yeah, so I just, I'll pay her a visit from time to time, a couple times a month. See, because that way it doesn't trigger my thirst for innocence.
Oh, okay. Right.
Got to keep that on the
right.
And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, by the way.
Okay.
Again, if it's too much, I can change it. If it makes you uncomfortable.
Keep going.
But I'm thinking like the way one could interpret it is like you can have a high standard for what qualifies as innocence. You know what I mean? So it's like, as long as I can find a fault in somebody, then that's not going to right. Trigger that.
Right.
So it's really only the situations where somebody appears to be completely faultless and perfect, quote unquote, like the Vaseline on the camera lens kind of thing,
Right. Just rose tinted glasses. And all
exactly.
That.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might be contextual. It might be, like due to a misunderstanding or just projection, We could even look at it, since I tied it in with my, teen romance.
Yeah.
With
Paloma.
We could even look at it as a kind of a Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula situation, where it's like, if I see somebody who reminds me of Paloma specifically, because that's my sort of like idealized, person, So we could approach it from that direction.
I mean, I guess I'm still trying to understand. For some reason, it's just I'm having a hard time understanding, I guess I kind of came to the conclusion that basically if you see anything that kind of triggers your innocence button, then you're like, oh, you're really compelled to
I have to make a self-control roll or else frenzy.
Right. So you are experiencing some bloodlust there, and you're just like, oh my God. And then
you could look at it as bloodlust, but since it's it's literally just one sentence, so they really leave it open.
Yeah, it's not very clear.
Right. And so it does say bloodlust. It says arouses in you a terrible bloodlust. Right. Roll self-control or else frenzy and attack the source of your hunger.
Okay, so and yet you have this kind of strange view on innocence and
Yeah, it's almost like it uncorks so many emotions in me at once that I can't handle it.
Right.
And it triggers that frenzy.
Yeah.
Because,
so you want to surround yourself with seedy people as much as possible so you can kind of control your bloodlust.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah,
because, actually, I min-maxed my flaws.
Yeah, I know you did.
No, not in that way.
Okay.
I min-maxed my flaws in a way to screw myself over, apparently.
Yeah,
Because,
that sounds right.
because addiction...
Right.
Okay. It says...
what page is that?
Oh, that is page 42.
Okay.
You suffer from an addiction to a substance, which must now be present in the blood you drink, or you automatically frenzy as per the prey exclusion flaw. So it's like, I'm like doubling up my frenzy on that one, because if I see something that triggers my self-control roll for innocence, fail that, I frenzy and attack the person.
Right.
And then drinking there, unless they happened to be high on morphine at the time, which would make them not innocent.
Right.
But if, assuming they don't have any morphine in their system, I then drink non-morphine blood, which then triggers frenzy again. So it's like double frenzy. So that's the point where I just hand my character sheet over to you and then sit here politely while you tell me all the horrible things that happen.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. So anyway.
All right. So did you just come to that realization? Like,
I did, actually, in this moment. I'm like, oh. I screwed myself.
Yeah, double frenzy.
Yep.
Good job.
Uh-huh.
All right. This is what we're playing, and this is where we're going. So.
It's a game of personal horror.
That's right. So.
Yes.
So how did you feed last night?
I went down to this nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
I, sat in the back, listened as she
saw you.
Sang her song. She saw me.
I'm sure she sings more than one song.
I always make sure, convention, right? You always come in on the last song so that the audience doesn't have to sit around too long and wait.
I go through a whole set of like 6 songs.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But yeah, no, I always make sure she sees me as I walk in.
What is your little high sign? Like, what do you do?
I just make sure that I walk through any available pool of light, or just kind of am visible. I'm not trying to like sneak in or be sneaky in any way.
Okay.
And I just have my usual spot at the back, knowing that afterwards, as she wraps up, she'll come over and take a seat next to me and give me that look that says, "I've been waiting for you."
Oh, do you give her blood in return?
No, she's not
Wait,
cool.
What? Oh,
she's not cool. I give her morphine. I'm her pusher.
I see.
So yeah.
Okay, so
yeah. So and then we repair to a secluded spot, perhaps her dressing room, perhaps.
Well, be specific.
Well, I'm just saying, this is the general thing. See, there's all these things
you never bring her back to your office or anything.
No.
Does her dressing room door lock? Like
sometimes. So I need to research hats.
Okay.
And then I'm making notes to myself.
Good.
Research.
All right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Research hats, and then cars, because I have an auto.
Automobile? Okay.
I have an automobile.
Mm-hmm.
And for early 1920s. So what I would dearly love is if they made little 2-door coupes with a rumble seat in the back, because I love those.
Well, then you may have one.
Well, if they exist, I have to find that out.
All right.
But yeah, I probably drive this little 2-door jalopy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes we go out to the street and get in the car, like.
You get in the car and do it?
Yeah.
Where do you drive to?
Oh, just out. It's a bad part of town. Like she can shoot up in the car. Okay. And then I can feed off of her.
So what do you do? Like you watch her you watch your herd members do this is this like part of your enjoyment of it is watching them do this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Do
you ever know when too much is too much?
I'm as much of an addict as she is. So this is part of the routine,
right? So you're just loving every detail of this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. I probably fill the syringe myself. Mm-hmm. And then hand it over.
How did you make this arrangement? Like, how did you meet? How did you know that, she would want to do this?
Well, I think with all of my herd members, it was just kind of a sounding it out kind of thing. Maybe I looked for certain signs that the person was, want to have a good time, as they say, and, or maybe like another herd member, somebody who got addicted from, a stay in the hospital, for example. They were being treated with morphine for some kind of chronic, pain, and they just got hooked on it, So, I have my pharmacist connection, right? So it's like, hey, who's ordering a lot of morphine,
Right. So you just pay him a visit, or like, how would that work?
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe for that person, it would be like representing myself as working for the pharmacy, and it's like, oh, I've got your monthly delivery, that kind of thing. So,
and then from there, you're gonna you would then help them shoot up, or what?
I would watch them do it, and then as they are slipping off into a soporific slumber, that's when I would make my move.
Well, ideally they're not. Ideally they're still a little cogent. Ideally that's not the amount that you would want them to have, but somehow.
Well, you know what I mean.
The amount. Well, no.
As they're becoming incapacitated from the morphine,
Yeah.
So,
because I'm just trying to wrap my head around how a person would explain this to themselves, allowing this to happen.
Yeah.
You have dominate, correct?
I do.
So what do you do? Does that help to cover your tracks as well?
Hell yeah. By the way, I'm going to move. I'm going to move a dot out of finance into science, since you asked how I can make sure these people don't overdose. There you go. That's how I do it. So let's
giving you just one more dot just to help you.
No, that's fine. I don't need finance. The character is taking shape before our very eyes. So obviously he's a bit more of the hired muscle kind of side of things.
Well, he's smart though. He's like a detective. So.
Sure, but he's the kind of detective who will take somebody's money to go beat somebody up.
Right.
So okay. So yeah, I have mesmerize. With this power, a vampire can verbally implant a false thought or hypnotic suggestion in the subject's subconscious mind. So that might be another way to pull these people in.
Okay.
What I really need, though, is 3 dots for the forgetful mind.
Oops.
That's where I can...
But it's good that they don't forget, because they might have a good feeling.
That's true, because then I don't have to, redo it every single time. Anyway, but I think with mesmerize... I'm just basically what I'm doing is I'm just using that on them to put them even further at ease. And
what are you making it out to be? Is it like a romantic situation? Is it just you're super calm and relaxed and I'm here to help you?
Yeah, I'm more of a either official or unofficial dealer, right? So it's if I'm coming representing the pharmacy, then it's oh, hi, I'm just the guy from the pharmacy.
For that hospital, for the chronic pain person.
The chronic pain person. But then if it's this, songbird, it's just oh, he's just my guy who brings my, brings my sweet, sweet candy around or whatever,
You're not romantically involved or sexually involved or whatever.
No. It's just purely it's a sensual experience, because of the shooting up part. And
are you still a virgin?
Define virgin.
I'm thinking about it.
Maybe.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Maybe. Yeah.
You were very busy.
I was a busy guy. It's true.
Did you? I mean, you saw all these different things happening, but did you
I got it.
What?
I've got it.
What? VD?
I've got VD and then some. No. Okay. I think of myself as a virgin still, even though I have had sex.
With who?
Prostitutes.
Oh.
That doesn't count.
Oh my God. By the way, I feel like we need to put...
We need to put a content warning on this shit.
This is a major content trigger warning.
Absolutely.
On a couple levels, but the opinions expressed by your character are not.
Oh God, no.
The reflections of this establishment.
No.
At all. Like
Nope.
in terms of sex work and that.
Absolutely. I wrote Berlin the Wicked City. Come on, people. All right, so.
Okay, so you've justified it. So Lucky has justified it in his mind that even though he's had sex with some prostitutes, I'm thinking not a lot though.
Not a lot. I think it's more like when he was in his 20s and he was working for the Martinez syndicate. It was just one of those things like, hey, kid.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it was like, we're going to go get you laid, that
Right.
kind of thing. And it's like, go to one of the Martinez-owned brothels and get a freebie, kind of thing. And it was just like, okay. And then it was like, okay, I did that. And maybe a couple other times during parties or whatever. But it was, he's not exactly asexual.
No.
He's certainly not aromantic.
Right. Okay.
Right. But he's just he's never really it's kind of like you don't want to be with me kind of thing. I am constitutionally incapable of having a real relationship with anybody.
How do you know that?
That's just my opinion of myself. Whether it's a self-fulfilling prophecy or not, it's a whole other issue.
What are you afraid of?
Oh, definitely commitment. And there's also just the torch carrying for Paloma. It's just like, well, she was the one, If that didn't work out, so I might as well not even try anymore.
Okay. All right. So it's the third herd person.
The third herd? You heard? Let's see.
What?
So we've got the songbird. We'll give them all names eventually.
You will? Good.
And then we've got chronic pain.
I'm picturing this as like a World War I veteran.
Ooh, I like it.
That's disturbing.
And how about the third person being somebody who you wouldn't really think of normally? Like they have a secret habit.
Well, it's a doctor.
Exactly. There we go.
Or a nurse.
Doctor's fine. All right. So there we go.
Okay. So the night before you spent time with Lorraine.
Lorraine, okay.
The songbird, right? And just out in the friggin' street, like some kind of animal, you are just watching her shoot up with morphine. And then once she starts to kind of get way more relaxed, what do you do?
Well, at that point, as her head's kind of lolling around, that's when the fangs come out, and I go in for the old jugular. And, I'm thinking like the bite is so painful that even under the influence of morphine, she still starts a little bit, sucks her breath in, but then the drug overwhelms the pain, dulls the nerves, and she just leans back as I drain some blood. It's not that kind of like quasi-erotic experience, though. Right. Even under morphine, it's almost like giving blood. It's just kind of like, like she's kind of, her eyes are rolling a little bit, and I'm just very like sort of mechanically pulling the blood out, but at the same time feeling that effect then of the morphine. So what do? Do you start getting more sluggish, and then definitely, yeah. Are you able to close the wounds in time? Like, oh yeah, I mean you just lick them shut, right? So it's pretty straightforward. But let's see here. Substance always impairs you in some fashion. See poisons and drugs in 301. Okay, so we go to that page. Okay. So basically, it says that the vampire subtracts 2 from dexterity and all ability dice rolls for 10 minus stamina minutes. Experience a dreamlike state for 12 minus stamina hours. Jesus. So that's 10 hours. So I think, like at certain times I need to make sure that we're doing this indoors because like this would take me through to sunrise.
Right. So you're not. So let's say that. But then where does she go?
Well, I mean, if I'm just leaving her in her dressing room, for example.
So you do it in the dressing room, and then how do you manage to get yourself home?
I think that there are times where
your dexterity's fucked. That's driving. So
yeah. So yeah, let's see. What do I have in drive? Yeah, my my drive pool is normally 3 dice, so it'd be one die. So I think that I do think though that there are times where it's like if I feed on her in the car, and then she just kind of, alights from the car, giggling and weaving away, to go off and sit in her little, dream. I just fire up the car and my car kind of like weaves off down the road,
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, So that's why, like, when I was waking up this morning, or this evening, rather, I was like kind of grabbing the side of the filing cabinet and having to like hoist myself out,
and the whole time Florence is just watching you.
Yeah. She was there the whole time.
Yeah, she's just sitting there. That's probably why you also didn't notice her right away.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then she's like, he's not going to notice me until he smells smoke. So I'd light this cigarette.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go.
Jesus.
It's a day in the life.
Oh my God. Okay.
See, I'm making Aaron Evans look better by the moment.
All right. So
you wanted to run a noir chronicle. I'm giving you noir.
I'm not complaining.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you're thinking, am I complaining?
No, you're not complaining. You're just like, oh my God.
I know, because I'm just like amazed.
So that means I'm bringing it.
You are bringing it. Yeah. Maybe getting some points later.
Oh, sweet.
All right. So what are your main motivations?
I wasn't sure if I was going to give you experience points, but maybe I will.
I think I'll keep him. So
I think I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm. So what are your primary motivations in life right now, in your unlife?
Where do I see myself 5 years from now?
No, not that.
Hashtag goals. Okay, so you're taking back the experience points.
They're already taken back.
God damn it. Okay, so what are my goals? What are my primary goals?
Motivations?
What are my motivations?
Motivations. Do you want to do some story goals? Do you think that would be helpful for this?
Yeah, there's actually a goals section right here. So,
what are you talking about on here? What
on my deluxe 6-page character sheet that has every single thing I could possibly want except for space for contacts.
Makes zero sense. Okay, what motivates Lucky?
Motivations, huh? Yeah, that's a good question.
I know. That's why I asked.
Oh my God, I've never thought of this. Yeah, no, I think survival would be the motivation.
Why do you want to survive? What drives you?
So, what drives me is knowing what waits for me on the other side.
Ooh. So, all of your necromantic adventures, what do you think waits for you on the other side?
From everything I can gather, not a lot of good things.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It seems like most spirits, most wraiths, if you will, are pretty unhappy.
Yeah.
And then some of them, over time, will disappear, never to be heard from again.
Ooh.
So
that's chilling.
Now, I think being a good Catholic boy, growing up, perhaps my personal theory on this is that the spirits that I can communicate with are those who are trapped in purgatory. And that the ones who disappear are going one way or the other. But my, personal belief is that as a member of the undead who didn't exactly live the most virtuous life while they were alive,
right?
I am damned for sure.
Right.
I'm definitely going to hell. So I'd really rather not, I'd really rather continue this existence as long as possible and not go off and be, subjected to purgatory and then go to hell. To say nothing of the fact,
right.
To say nothing of the fact that I know for certain, even beyond any sort of philosophical stance, that as a wraith, I can be bound, I can be manipulated, I can be enslaved.
I'm thinking that's a big motivator for not wanting to die.
It's almost like a sense of displaced guilty conscience. That's where my conscience lives.
Right.
Is in this notion of what can happen, what necromancers can do to wraiths, basically.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So
that's disturbing.
It is.
Like, it'd be like, no thanks. Like,
exactly.
I don't want to.
No.
Damn.
Because I'm not entirely sure that were I to become a wraith, were I to die and transcend and become a wraith, that I wouldn't just be immediately targeted by some of my own, criminal buddies, basically.
That's right.
Yeah, because they know me, they know what I look like, they can call me up.
Yeah.
And then be like, okay, get in this tiny little model coffin.
Yeah. No, there you go. Yeah.
We're going to bind you in here and then use you as a source of power.
That's disturbing. So, that's creepy.
Uh-huh. Huh. No relief. No respite from the creepiness.
So you just have to keep moving forward. Like, you can't
That's right.
afford to die. You can't afford to get a final death.
Yeah.
Because it won't really be final.
Yeah.
Because that.
I'm definitely not the ennui-soaked vampire who's like, is this eternal torment worth it? No. No, it's like in fact, I probably willingly signed on to be a vampire because I'm like, I cannot die. I'm terrified of death. Oh. I don't like death. I don't like loss,
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So you're thinking about all this as you are...
but I should have some story goals.
Yeah. So you're thinking about this as...
as I'm listing my story goals.
Can I please run this?
Go ahead.
So you're thinking about all of this as you're looking out the window of what the night holds for you and what you want to get done. Because Florence has laid this before you. Some opportunity to work on some stuff. It's a job, essentially, among other things. So, with that being said, what are your story goals?
Okay, so I want to run Sister Bliss out of town. Okay, done. Second story goal. I can always fill these in, right, as we go.
Well, yeah, there's not a lot that you know very much about the world yet, but, yeah.
I feel like it should be something tied in with Don Sebastian.
You might get opportunities later, so you can just put Don Sebastian.
Yeah. Don Sebastian.
And then what's the third one?
Question mark. Third one. Well, see, we haven't really gotten to one of my other flaws yet.
What is that?
That would be sleeping with the enemy.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything there? Not yet. So I'm just going to leave that open.
Okay.
And maybe something will present itself with that angle.
All right.
So, I do have this new job.
Uh-huh.
With Sister Bliss. So, let's hop to it.
Are you checking your mail?
Oh, yes, right. Okay. So, got one of those little baskets in the door so that when the mail comes in through the slot, it just goes into the basket. It's pretty cool. I'll head over and get the mail out of there.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
You're flipping through it, and then there is...
Bills.
Throw them in the trash.
Yep. When I was a kid, first of all, I never understood why adults only ever got bills in the mail. So I was like, how many bills can you possibly have?
Right.
And then, in the movies where it's, the down on his luck private eye or whatever, be like, bills, and then throw them in the trash. I'd be like, well, you have to pay those, though.
Aww.
First of all, you're getting way too many bills. Secondly, you should pay them. Anyway, go on.
All right. So as you're sifting through your mail, you see this beautiful envelope.
Okay.
Which is addressed to you.
Okay.
And
Does it look like an invitation
It
thing?
does look like an invitation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you turn it over and there's a black wax seal over it. And it says, the thing about running games is you realize
Something sounds good on paper, and then you have to actually say it out loud. Yeah, I've been there.
that's one part of it. This isn't it.
Okay.
But it's like, I love it. Okay, this is great. Actually, no, I'm doing it on purpose. Never mind. I'm not ashamed.
Good. Go forward without shame.
So it is a black wax seal, and it says DS.
DS.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We've done so well with initials in the past.
Is this Aaron's mom?
What?
No, I don't know.
What are you talking about?
No,
Do you remember the time when it was like, this is from CR? And I was like, I don't know who the hell that is. And then I realized who it was.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I assume I know as my character.
You
I would
may,
know.
you may not.
Okay, all right. I will break the seal, and I will open the envelope.
Okay. It says, you are cordially invited by...
Spit it out.
You're cordially invited by the Drazzle sisters to a party.
I love it.
At the Biltmore in Beverly Hills on September 16th, 1922, 10 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
Come as you are.
Mm.
And then there's like a little black bat at the bottom. So it's like this beautiful ivory, creamy paper.
Okay.
And then a little bat. And then the DS is at the top as well.
Of course.
May have been Don Sebastian. Also,
I gotcha.
the Drazzle sisters.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And do I know who the Drazzle sisters are?
Oh yes.
Okay.
You do.
Please illuminate me.
It's Abra and Zita Drazzle.
Ooh.
And they throw many parties. In addition to Don Sebastian, they'll sometimes do party collaborations where they will throw parties together. These like elaborate masquerades, or just they'll have different party games and scavenger hunts and all different types of chaos and faffery and fuckery. And so again, mortals and Canaanites alike are usually invited. So they're having one of their just, every other month massive party.
Cool.
Yeah, usually there's more of a theme attached to these invites, but this one's fairly vague.
Yeah, well, it's September. They'll do their big Halloween bash next month,
Exactly.
All right.
This is a pre-party.
Right. Just a warm-up.
A pre-party party.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you've been invited. Whether or not you want to go, it's up to you.
How long is that from now? It's the 16th. How many days till then?
Oh, it's the same day.
Oh, it's tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Maybe give a guy notice. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll go.
You don't have to.
No, I'll suffer through it.
Oh my God. You don't have to go.
I'm going. Maybe I'll see Sister Bliss there.
Oh,
maybe she'll show up.
Maybe she will be there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you've seen her before. So what are the other things that you remember about Sister Bliss?
Well, that's an excellent question, and I'm glad you asked. You can't story game me too much here because I'm gonna turn this into a dice roll.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
All right. So how about intelligence plus investigation to recall details?
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I need a character sheet in front of me. I'm sorry.
This isn't even funny.
What?
You need a character sheet in front of you because it isn't even funny.
No, it's stupid.
All right. Okay. Cool. Difficulty, madam?
I will say based on vampire lore, right?
I do.
So that takes a bit of the difficulty away.
It does.
So I'll say difficulty 5.
Perfect. And remember, there's a handy little table on your GM screen there too. I often look at myself.
Right.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh.
4 successes.
Oh.
Fancy that.
Cool. So, let's see. So
Okay.
that's... Oh.
Sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
so with
suddenly you have
4...
something to say? Okay.
Suddenly, yes. I've been so quiet this whole time. So with 4 successes, what do I remember about Sister Bliss?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know.
What?
Am I just making things up, or do you want to give me like 4 things I know about her? 4 quick things you should know about Sister Bliss. Little listicle article, you know.
With a GIF attached to each one.
Exactly.
No, I'm going to say that there's 3 things that you know.
Okay.
And this is collaborative.
Sure, of course.
You're helping me tell the story.
That's fine.
So whatever details I can fit it in.
Okay, all right.
So to speak.
So what do I know about? So you've established that she shows up at these Don Sebastian parties and other parties.
Yes.
And I've always found her a bit creepy.
Yeah.
And she always wears a nun's habit.
She does.
So we know these
definitely
things.
Roman Catholic. I mean, she reminds you of like the nuns that you'd see around
Yeah.
Mexico and stuff.
Right.
It's weird.
Okay. Sister Mary Joseph and that kind of thing.
Sure.
All right. So what I know about her, let's say, how about if I give you like a generic thing and then you can fill in the details? So I know her neighborhood, right? Like I know where she's normally, her domain. Let's put it that way. I know her domain. I don't necessarily know where her haven is.
Yeah, so her domain mostly is in the hills.
Like the Hollywood Hills?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. That's good information. Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
I have an approximate idea of her age and roughly her generation.
You can tell that she is very old.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well old.
Yeah, but she doesn't look old.
Sure.
Her face is kind of
she's
weirdly
been around for a
ageist,
while.
but you can tell based on other elders you've been around, she gives off that same sort of energy.
Ooh, almost an elder.
Yeah.
Or is she an elder? Okay. So elder, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so probably a higher generation than me.
Mm-hmm.
And which is not good because then I can't use my dominate on her.
She might be, but she's giving off that energy.
I'm not going to bank on it. I'm not going to bank
Right.
on that I can use my
Right.
dominate on her.
Right.
One last thing is, let's see, what would be good to know? How about I've seen one of her disciplines in action?
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into that really quickly here.
She feels very powered by the apocalypse. Choose 3.
Choose 3 things you know about. Okay.
Okay.
So you have seen on a couple occasions that you've seen that when some vampires, like some Canaanites, have kind of gotten into a frenzy state, that she's been able to basically calm them down enough where they're no longer in a frenzy. So they've gotten into a really hyper frenzied state.
Like at one of these parties.
Yeah. And then she was seeing that things were kind of getting out of control, or she would like take them away.
Right.
But before she would take them away, she would like calm them down where basically it's like they were no longer in a frenzy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't seem like a bad thing at all.
But I will say that usually during those situations, like she would take them, you would see them take, you would see them take the Canaanite away, and you never saw that Canaanite again.
Sure. Yeah.
Like ever again. Like
Right.
you never saw them again.
Right.
At the party, at a different party, just hanging out.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, she does creep me out, so.
All right.
Okay. Cool. So, there we go. this party's at 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at the Biltmore.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that again?
It's in Beverly Hills.
All right. I guess I'm supposed to come as I am. So I guess, what time is it then?
So you check the clock. You have a wall clock, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, ticking away.
Mm-hmm.
Or a pocket watch or watch or something. Or
I've got a little watch on a fob, actually.
Okay, so you check that, and it says 9:45.
9:45? I guess I'll be fashionably late.
Wait. Sorry.
What time is the sun set around here, anyway?
It says 7:15.
7:15, perfect. 7:15, so that gives me some time then. Is there anything I'm going to do with that time? That's the thing. Let's see here.
Your phone rings.
Oh, shit. All right. Ahoy, hoy.
Really?
Yes.
Lucky it's the pharmacist.
Dr. Carruthers.
Carruthers?
Yeah.
This is different from the doctor, though.
Of course, but he's a pharmacist.
Doesn't mean he's a doctor. Or he or she.
All right, fine. Mr. Carruthers.
Okay. Hey, so I wanted to check in on you to see if everything was okay with the supply I gave you last night.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Why?
You didn't feel any different?
I don't think so.
So you're thinking back on like how it was going, and the fact that like Lorraine like walked away like giggling seemed different than how she usually is.
Yeah.
You didn't feel any different? He asks again.
Did I?
I don't know, did you?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Well, there was just something really, I don't know. I've just gotten some strange complaints about this past supply or past batch. And people are kind of reacting weirdly to it.
Oh, yeah? Like in what way?
Well, it's a little less sedating than it should be. It's causing more of a response that is a little bit, it's weaker, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, all right. Well. Okay. Interesting. So how many like vials do I have left, or?
He just fully supplied you.
Damn it.
You just want to keep that in mind. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, our arrangement is that I will just give this to you, and
Certainly. Yes, of course.
but I just wanted you to be aware in case you had any sort of complaints or problems.
That's good to know, and I'll keep that in mind.
All right.
Hang up.
Yeah.
I will call the nightclub.
Okay.
Ask for Lorraine.
She's not here tonight, buddy.
Listen, do you have like a personal number or address?
No.
Yeah, well, thanks for nothing.
But you do know that she lives above the club.
Oh, okay.
But, if somebody calls and asks for, like, they're not
Sure.
know.
Yeah, so I think I'll head over to the nightclub first.
Okay.
And, I'm just looking at Chameleon again here. You spend so much time altering your mannerisms and appearance that your own sire may not even recognize you.
That's tricky.
Yeah. Regain a point of willpower whenever you fool someone into thinking you're someone else for your own benefit. Okay.
All right, so you get to the Black Dove.
Black Dove. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And the usual guys up at the front, allowing people in.
Okay. So he knows me.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Lucky. Lorraine ain't here tonight.
That's fine. I'm just coming by on a different different call, different reason.
All right. Head on in.
Okay, so now I have to sneak my way into the back so that I can get upstairs, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see here. I've got stealth. Mm-hmm. I have dexterity.
Yep.
I'm going to roll stealth and dexterity.
All right. Stealth and dex.
Yep.
All right. When you do your chameleon stuff, is that like appearance? Like, are you trying to be chameleon-like, or are you just like, hey, I'm lucky and I'm walking around?
Hey, I'm lucky I'm walking around. Independent and self-reliant. You carefully study the behavior and mannerisms of everyone you come into contact with so you can pass yourself off as someone else later. You spend so much time altering your mannerisms and appearance that your own sire may not even recognize you. Spies, con artists, drag queens, and imposters best represent the chameleon. So yeah, I think what I'll do, what this is kind of reflecting is like as soon as I pass into the club, I will alter my posture and, my gait, and like not walk out into the, a bright overhead light, that kind of thing. Like just not appear the way I normally do. Okay. So that somebody seeing me out of the corner of their eye would not recognize me.
What would they be
kind
seeing?
of a regular. Who knows? Somebody else, right?
Okay.
So I'm just kind of like impersonating some person I might have seen the other night, that kind of thing.
Well, what would that person be? You gotta be specific.
Oh, just some, I don't know, like some anonymous loser, basically.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Is it just kind of like slumpy posture?
Mm-hmm. Or... Exactly.
All right.
I'm also going to burn 2 blood points.
Oh.
To boost my pool a little bit.
Oh.
Because I only have 3 dice in that pool.
All right.
And what would be my difficulty?
Difficulty is, let's see here. This can be a 6.
Oh man, I'm on fire.
Ooh.
4 successes.
All right. So you just like kind of slide into the club. You easily got in because they recognized you. Mm-hmm. And then you suddenly your shift, your gait changes, your posture changes, and you're kind of like look like this like older person who's just kind of walking very deliberately. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Through the club. Uh-huh. As you head toward where the stage door is, like the little backstage door area. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and nobody's really paying much attention to you.
Okay. Good. So I'll just pass on through.
Okay. So there's like shuffling of people. There's just like people are getting ready to, whatever acts are going on stage. Mm-hmm. There's a variety of performers. It's like burlesque to vaudeville to like different people. So some people recognize you though, and they're like, "Hey, Lucky, what are you doing here?" Right,
because like at that point, I'll have dropped the act basically. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you will, or did you want to maintain it?
Well, I mean, with 4 successes, if I wanted to maintain it, I don't know if people would necessarily recognize me.
No, they wouldn't. So, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I was actually kind of planning to drop it. Anyway,
oh, you were? So, okay,
yeah.
All right.
It's all good. So yeah, I'll just give a little friendly wave, like. But
right.
Not actually answer the question.
Right. So you know that there's a door at the end of the hall that kind of leads up to the residences upstairs.
Okay. Do I know what particular apartment she lives in?
Have you gone up there to do your thing
Probably,
with her?
Yeah.
Okay, then realistic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
What's number 3?
Okay. So up the stairs I go. Mm-hmm. They're probably overly steep, carpeted stairs.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Stucco plaster walls and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. All right, so I get to the number 3 and I give a little knock.
You don't hear anything.
Hey, Lorraine, it's Lucky.
There's still no response.
Nothing.
No.
I'll try the doorknob.
It opens.
I'll head in.
Okay. You head in and you smell blood.
The hell? All right.
And you see, like,
I'm looking around.
Yeah. Then on the floor, you're seeing just like a trail of blood.
Okay, I'll follow the trail.
And it goes. It's just like a one. Like there's like a small little bedroom and it's a very small little cramped quarters.
Mm-hmm.
But as you turn the corner to go into the bedroom, you just see more blood and you see a body face down in the mattress. Bed clothes are rumpled up around. The windows open, the curtains fluttering in the breeze. And you hear traffic coming up from the street. And that's Lorraine's body on the bed. And there's blood by her neck. And she's laying face down on the mattress.
All right, I'm going to go over and check the source of the blood.
Yeah. So you move her body over.
Mm-hmm.
You like to see her from the front.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you see her face and it's contorted in pain. And where you had bitten her is completely open. It looks ghastly. You've never,
Really?
I don't know, have you seen like how your bite looks when you don't heal it?
Oh, yeah, because I would have done the morphine thing as a response to that, no doubt,
So you see how ghastly and it's definitely your bite wound.
Jeez.
And it's definitely open. You could have sworn you closed it, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not closed. So you said she was giggling and walking away, leaving the vehicle, and you drove off.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I don't like you.
You don't like
You don't like you. All right. So, interesting. And she's cold.
Mm-hmm. Her face is just horror-stricken. Pain.
I'll check the track mark on her arm.
Mm-hmm.
That's visible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm a necromancer. That whole thing. All right.
Yep.
Holy shit, I'm a necromancer. If only there was a way I could talk to the dead.
Oopsie boopsie.
Okay, let's see here. All right, so let's review here. I have Witness of Death, which allows me... A necromancer sees ghosts as translucent phantoms gliding among the living and hears their whispers and moans. She feels the spectral cold of their touch, smells their musty hint of decay, yet one cannot mistake the dead for the living as they lack true substance and appear dimmer and less real than creatures of flesh and blood. When a vampire uses this power, her eyes flicker with pale blue fire that only the dead can see. Ghosts resent being spied upon. More powerful shades may use their own powers to inflict their displeasure on the incautious. And then I have Summon Soul. Power of Summon Soul allows a necromancer to call a ghost back from the underworld for conversational purposes only. As opposed to what? In order to perform...
I gotta bang that ghost.
Ghost BJ. In order to perform this feat, and indeed most of the feats in this path, a vampire must meet certain conditions. Necromancer must know the name of the wraith in question, though an image of the wraith obtained in other ways. Oh, see, it does mention aspects here. Maybe that's where that lodged in your brain.
Maybe.
An object with which the wraith had some contact in life must be in the vicinity, though it need not be something of significant importance to the ghost's living consciousness. A piece of the ghost's corpse works well for this purpose, and even provides a -1 difficulty modifier. Certain types of ghosts cannot be summoned with this power. Vampires who achieve Golconda, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So, but I think what I'll do first is a little ritual.
Oh, okay.
Called Insight.
Oh, right. You want to see the last moments?
That's right. So I'm looking down at her face, so I will pull her eyelid up, and I will stare into her unseeing.
Oh, her eyes are open.
Oh, they're open. Oh, even better.
Yeah, they're kind of like dull.
So with a habitual, a sigh out of habit rather than out of,
remorse
or anything else, I will have a seat on her squeaky mattress, and I will stare down into her vacant eyes. And
all right,
I'm going to roll.
Okay. What's this difficulty?
The number of successes determines clarity of the vision. Okay, right. So let's see here. Intelligence plus occult. Difficulty 3 plus the level of the ritual. So it'd be difficulty 4. It's pretty decent. intelligence, and then I have 3 in occult. Okay, I've been rolling a lot of 5 dice pools tonight.
Yeah.
That would be 5 successes.
Wow.
So I get full sensory perception of the hour leading up to the target's death.
All right. So you look into her cold, dead eyes, and you are transported into this completely other space. It's like you're kind of in another room all of a sudden, and you're seeing things play out in the way that actually it's interesting because before when you were doing this, you kind of saw it a certain way, but then with the advent of movies and having watched movies, you're like, whoa, that's very similar to like what I see when I kind of tap into somebody.
Oh, interesting.
Like it kind of
so it's like I'm the camera.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
So you're like, huh, like that's weird. That must have been a surreal experience for you. So you see Lorraine leaving the vehicle. She's stumbling out, and she's not laughing. She's like crying and whimpering and trying to control the bleeding. It can't stop. It's not stopping. And she's shuffling through and bursts through the nightclub, which is very much still active. She goes through the path you took, shambles up the stairs, and is panicked and is scared, but is fumbling with her key to her door. Unlocks it, closes the door, and just stumbles around the apartment, not knowing what to do. She's panicked, but then she's slowing down. The blood just keeps coming, and she just collapses onto the bed. And just her breath gets more shallow, and she's crying in pain. And that's it.
Okay, so since I get the whole hour prior to that, I assume most of it would have been like her performing and stuff, right? Blah, 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 blah. All right. What about... So, and then we get to I show up, and then we go out to the car, and then it's like, ooh, look at what I brought, and all that kind of stuff. And then the actual deed itself, and then when I go in for the bite, do I see myself licking the wound shut?
You don't see that.
So I didn't lick the wound shut.
You thought you did, though.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah.
What did the pharmacist say?
Well, he said that the morphine had been having weird effects. So it's could be messing with my perception of reality. Okay. You're paying him a visit.
What?
So, let's see here. Okay, so now it is time.
What?
Presumably that all happens in real time, so I've been sitting there for an hour.
Yeah.
So now it is time to call her up.
Call who? Oh, call her up. Summon her. Okay. Oh, all right.
All right, so I have to spend a blood point.
How many blood points? Dude.
You know I started out with a full tank.
Well, yeah, but...
Spend a blood point. Roll manipulation plus occult. Ha ha ha. All right. That is 6 dice. Difficulty equal to 7. Or the ghost's willpower, whichever is higher.
Okay.
Would be unusual for her to have higher than 7, I would think.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say 5.
Yeah. Weak. All right, so...
Rude.
Hey, man, she's in a vampire's herd. Like, comes with the territory. Man, my dice, see, they've been lying dormant for so long. They're like, I want to please you, master. So...
Right.
Yeah, that would be 5 successes on that bad boy.
All right, so what is your ritual?
Oh, actually, yeah, it was difficulty 6, actually, because I'm with her corpse, but still just 5. So the vampire must know the name of the ghost, have on hand an object, provided that the target has died and become a ghost. Success means the shade appears before the necromancer as described above. Not everyone becomes a ghost. It requires a strong will to persevere in the face of death, and souls that have found peace pass on to their eternal rewards. Moreover, it is possible for the dead to suffer spiritual dissolution and destruction after they become ghosts. The storyteller should consider all these factors when deciding whether a particular ghost exists for a vampire to summon. Vampires know if their summons should have succeeded by a feeling of sudden, terrifying descent as they reach too far into the great beyond, so this power can be used to determine whether a soul has endured beyond death. While a failure means the vampire wastes blood, a botch calls a spirit other than the one sought, usually a malevolent ghost known as a specter. Such a fiend torments the one who summoned it with every wicked power at its disposal. Fun. Once a ghost is summoned, it may not deliberately move out of sight of the vampire, though it can take any other actions, including direct attack. The vampire's player may spend a willpower point to dismiss the ghost at any time, unless he rolled a botch. Otherwise, at the end of the scene, shadows engulf the spirit once more and return it to its original location.
That was very fast, what you read.
All right, so...
No.
Did you get it?
I guess so,
Okay.
yeah. All right. So you summon. So what's the ritual? What do you do? Like, action-wise, what do you do?
I'm thinking about it. Okay. I have to have an object, I have to know the name. All right, fine. So I will hold her hand in this case. I'll take her hand in mine. Close my eyes. Concentrate and, just basically begin intoning her name like a spirit medium. Lorraine, are you there? Answer me, Lorraine. I compel you to appear before me. Answer my summons.
So you hear this, you basically hear it's like the volume is really low and then it turns up very high. It's very loud. It's like you pulled her out of a room full of people and outside the door. And so you hear like this hum of just all of these other voices.
Right.
And her voice kind of comes through. And you see in the room, suddenly there's like this pale blue, like light blue silhouette of her. And her eyes are white. And you see her mouth moving. And it's like her mouth is moving, but the words are not being formed by her mouth.
Right.
It's very strange.
Right.
And she says, "Who is this? Who are you?
I'm lucky. I found your body here.
Why did you do this to me?"
I'm sorry. I didn't know it would happen. What did it feel like?
It was just pain. I'm still in pain. I'm still in pain now. It's horrible. Get me out of here.
I'm sorry, I can't.
And she screams.
Well, PowerPoint.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Dismissed. All right.
Her scream is echoing in your ears. Do you let her go?
Yeah.
And she's just screaming. It's horrible. It's the screams that you remember from the first night of when you were embraced.
All right, so banish, go away.
How do you do that?
I spent a willpower point.
Okay, all right, okay. But what do you actually do?
Oh, it's just a simple hand wave.
Okay.
You cut the cord basically.
Okay, and it just fades away.
Yeah. Well, it's like it gets like I said here, it gets engulfed in shadows.
Yeah, so it goes back into the shadows of the room,
right,
basically.
Right.
And the curtains fluttering, and it was like this pane of glass that would open out, and it just flaps against the wall outside.
Yeah,
breaking one of the panes of glass inside of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of that window, I will take a peek out. Is there a fire escape?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm up on the second floor.
Yep.
Any drain pipes I can climb down?
It's flat.
Good. All right. Well, I will just lower myself out the window.
Okay.
Is it facing on an alley or? Yeah. So I'll just lower myself as far as I can and then just drop the rest of the way.
Right. It's a very cheap housing.
Yeah.
It's not very safe.
No.
All right.
I will set the room on fire and then I will.
So you leave.
Yeah.
Okay. And So your feet hit the ground in the alley, splashing in some water. I hope it's water.
Yeah, well.
And
my shoelace was untied.
Where do you go? Where do you go?
All right, so
that's your car.
Yeah, I'll kind of gather myself and
how are you feeling?
Straighten my tie.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Not great. So, all right, next destination is the pharmacy.
Oh, okay.
I take it it's a night pharmacy. That's why I picked this guy. Right?
Yeah. No, it's definitely he works late.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Carruthers works late.
Mm-hmm.
And he so he has a little you see the outside of the pharmacy. It's a couple blocks away.
Yeah.
And it's basically like a mint green exterior, painted mint green.
Classic.
The glass is frosted. It has like the mortar and pestle, like pharmacy symbol on it. And it's I don't know, Bunker Hill Pharmacy.
Sure.
Yeah. And there's a back door that that's where they get deliveries and stuff like that. That's usually where you access him. So how did your relationship start?
Oh, I was looking for a night pharmacist, and initially it was just me dominating him into giving me morphine. But, it kind of eventually turned into a cordial relationship, and maybe like it was a little quid pro quo after a little while, or it was like, I'll do a favor for you if you let me take this morphine, no questions asked kind of thing, So,
okay. Yeah. So you've done a couple things for him.
Yeah. He found out I was a private eye, so he's like, hey, could you, follow my wife around or whatever?
And she wasn't doing anything.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it was totally benign.
Right. Turns out she was just a member of a ladies' sewing circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't want to tell you.
Right. Very simple stuff,
Yeah.
So you head to the back door?
No, actually. I'm going to go in the front this time.
It's closed.
That's closed. Oh, so he just works nights mixing and
compounding stuff.
Compounding, yeah, okay. All right, well, in that case, I'll go around.
Okay.
I had visions of storming in and, like, dominating a customer and telling them to leave. Leave now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I should give you more opportunities to do that kind of stuff.
It's yes and.
I know, I'm sorry.
I'm kidding. All right, so yeah, I'll head around to the back. I am going to still storm in, though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's everything you just saw. I mean, you can still hear her screams.
I probably still have some blood on my hands, actually.
Yeah.
So I'll storm in.
Okay.
Where is he at?
He's just at his table and he's mixing a solution and
So I'll just come right up and put my hands down on the desk and be like, I need you to analyze that morphine.
Okay, so Mr. Carruthers, he's like a short guy, glasses, kind of like just kind of a
nebbish.
I guess
nebbishy
so.
Man.
Yeah, he's just kind of quiet and like kind of sciencey guy.
My sciences. Keep going.
So yeah, he's kind of a short guy, glasses, like kind of like a Rick Moranis kind of guy.
Oh sure, yeah.
What are you looking for?
I dropped a dice. It's fine.
Oh,
Doesn't
no.
matter.
Uh-oh. Wait. Uh-oh.
Note to self to find later. It bounced off my foot. God only knows where it went.
I don't know where it is.
Okay.
So he's kind of like, ooh, startled.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, Lucky? What's going on?
Okay. I did experience side effects from that morphine. It messed with my mind.
What are you talking about?
Things that I thought I was doing, I wasn't doing, and I was remembering them differently.
Okay, I there's nothing psychoactive in this mixture.
So I'll grab him by the lapels with my blood-stained hands. I'll be like, somebody's dead, Carruthers.
He's scared.
Yeah.
So how much of the full force of your beast-likeness is coming out?
Ooh, I think we'll just do a little self-control.
You are a vampire, yeah. Roll self-control. Difficulty, let's see here, 7.
7? I'm not hungry or anything.
Yeah, but
I'm going to argue you, though. I'm going to argue you on this one.
You saw a bunch of stuff. You're scared. You're freaking out.
Can we do 5? Can I bargain you down to 5?
No, 6.
All right, fine. What's humiliation, just out of curiosity?
Humiliation.
For the frenzy difficulty.
Smell of blood, sight of blood, being harassed, life-threatening, malicious taunts, physical provocation, taste of blood.
Yeah.
Loved one in danger, outright public humiliation is 8.
Public humiliation is 8. Wow. What's the taunts one?
4.
4. Okay, so 6 sounds reasonable.
He's not taunting you.
No, he's not.
He's legit like.
No, I'm just trying to remember what the gauge is,
okay.
like where the extremes are.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so that's 2 successes.
2?
2.
Okay.
So I resist the beast, but I think there's maybe a little flash of red in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, you pick him up by the lapels.
Definitely,
right?
yeah. I pull him up out of the chair.
His feet are dangling.
Yeah.
And he's...
I don't know, like, a woman is dead, Carruthers.
And he's like, what? Who?
So I'll set him down again. I'll say, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think that matters very much.
But if you're handing out this morphine to patients, you need to know about this, and I need to know what's going on.
Fine. I'll analyze it. It might take I don't know. I can start it tonight.
Yeah, you better.
All right, fine.
Call me when you find something out.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I'll get it started right now.
All right, see that you do. And then I'll straighten his vest out.
Okay.
Give a little pat on the chest, you know.
And then you just leave?
Yep.
Ugh. So as you leave, what?
I gotta have a trademark whistle.
Do you?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, make it happen then.
I have a trademark, whistling my trademark tune as I head out the door. And
you'll find out.
I'll figure it out, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're whistling, you leave, you're walking down the steps. Oh, mechanical pencil. Interesting. And then basically it you hear the door close behind you pretty abruptly and then locked.
Okay.
The door is locked.
Yeah.
You hear the click, click, click chain.
Okay.
So what do you do next?
I'll check my pocket watch. What time is it?
It's 7:15. It's at 9:15.
Okay.
No, actually, you spent an hour doing, commune for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's true. I just spent an hour.
So it took you at 7:30. Okay, it's 9:30.
9:30. Yeah. All right. I will be fashionably late because I'm going to head back to my haven.
Okay.
Wash my hands and then kind of reapply my Brill cream or whatever.
Okay.
Just kind of get a little straightened up. So that I'm not
do you have a
showing
nicer
up.
Suit to wear?
I mean, it's that come as you are, so I don't want to overdress,
But what's your general look when you are in public and with Canites and stuff? Do you try to look a little nicer?
Yeah. I mean, it's, kind of on the sharper end of usual kind of, suit and tie look,
Okay.
Nothing fancy though, just maybe tailored, but not high end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you straighten up, get cleaned up, and you're taking your time.
Mm-hmm.
And the phone rings.
Oh. Pick it up.
All you hear is Lorraine scream.
God damn it. And I'll hang it up. Yes. I'm working on it, and then I'll hang up.
All right. So is there anything you do to before you leave, in terms of preparing your haven so that when you arrive, you don't have to worry about getting...
if I needed an emergency, last minute jump into the safe spot.
Yeah. Do you do anything to prepare before you leave your haven for the night?
I think I would pull the shades down at least, just so that it wouldn't be completely flooded with sunlight.
Right.
In the worst case scenario. But other than that, no. I leave the sleeping bed locked so that people can't fuck with it if I'm not there, and lock my door.
Okay.
I always keep the transom window shut too.
Okay. All right. So you leave and drive over to the hotel.
Oh, all the windows are nailed shut as well, just for the record.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so you are driving to the hotel.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And too many windows open. Okay.
Okay.
So, you are driving down the street and you make it to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cars around,
Mm.
some fancy looking cars, and you see people on foot, entering the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty busy. It's very newly established, but it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it's just the biggest hotel that you've probably seen built here in a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially like outside there's just like, it's like, if you look down on it, it's like a W shape. So there's like the and then there's like there's this bottom floor all around,
Okay, right.
the bottom level. And then there's like three buildings, and then there's like, it goes in and out. Does that make sense?
Got
like
it.
a W shape.
Yeah.
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 And so you pull up and there's a valet
Mm-hmm.
to park your vehicle elsewhere.
Sure.
And so you head into this hotel. The hotel is like, it's all like gold and terracotta inside, like a light terracotta. And the ceilings are super ornate, chandeliers. It's kind of Spanish and like Roman combined. There's a tile, like a marble floors. It's very ornate. There's like the stairs going up to the different floors are like have a iron gate across them, but it's open right now.
Yeah.
There's this massive bar that you can kind of get a glimpse into as you are walking through the lobby. There's this ginormous like bar. There's tons of people in there. You can smell the blood. And
Don't forget it's prohibition though.
yeah, you can smell the blood.
I know. They're drinking sarsaparilla.
That's right. It's just a bar area, like.
No, I get it. Yeah, the bar was built before prohibition.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So, you're there. You've arrived.
Okay.
The instructions of the invite also said that they would be up on the penthouse suites.
Okay.
Up at the top.
So I probably brought the invite with me. So I'll just head to the front desk and I'll say I'm here for the Dorothy Zbornak party.
Drazzle Sisters.
I'm here for the Drazzle Sisters party.
Yes, just you can take the elevator all the way to the top.
Okay. I'll head over to the elevator.
Okay.
Take me to the top, my good man.
All right. Penthouse suite.
So yeah, so I think I'm like affecting this kind of air of like,
Right.
like society boy,
Right.
So maybe I should have a variety of different costumes. I have to think about that.
All right.
I'm still figuring this character out.
No,
so.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So the bellhop's like, right away, sir. And then he takes you up to the top floor.
Phone call for Mr. Herman. Telephone call for Mr. Herman.
But yeah, do perception plus alertness.
Okay, let me just make a note to myself here.
If you have alertness.
You're lucky I didn't make this character after we watched She-Ra in Double Trouble.
No, you should have.
All right, what is that? Perception plus alertness? Oh, good. That's 7 dice.
And anyway, I mean, yeah, you could start off one way and end up another.
Very true. All right, 7 dice with my specialty of insightful. I don't know if that would apply or not.
Sure.
Good. And that is, if I roll any 10s, they count as 2 successes? Right. Okay.
Difficulty 4.
Oh. There's my first 1 of the evening. That's crazy. All right, so...
Oh, you found your other dice?
No, I just...
Oh.
I have a lot of dice.
Oh.
That would be 4 successes.
Okay. So you definitely, the bellhop's like super friendly. So you're like, yeah, like right away, sir, But like you sense like he's freaked out by you. Like he's
nervous.
He's fearful. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a very long trip up the elevator, and you make it to the penthouse floor.
Okay. I will flip him a nickel on my way out the elevator.
It's like, thanks.
Thanks for the ride, kid.
Sure, no problem. And he can't close the door fast enough.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of shaking a little as he's like pulling the gate across.
Yeah.
And so you're on this floor and you hear it is loud. There's music. exactly like that. There's a band, there's music, there's laughter, but the laughter is like the laughter of the damned. Like, vampire laugh. Like, it's like you've been around to different parties. It's a different
sort
type.
Of soulless.
It is, very much so.
It's like Mitch McConnell's laugh.
I'm running this game so that we can have a break.
I'm running this game of vampires forcing mortals to shoot up morphine so that we can have a break from reality.
So you're hearing the laughter, but you also hear human laughter as well, and all different types of sounds, chatting, talking, etc. And so you're making your way to the source of the noise. So you see that there's a main entrance, like a main door that people are kind of going in and out. And there's a Cainite sitting at the entrance. And the door's like closed, but and they're sitting on a stool. And you see this person, and they're dressed basically half in a woman's dress, half in a man's suit.
Nice.
And one half is made up like a woman, the face. One half of the face is made up like a woman, really beautifully. And the other half is like completely black.
Oh, wow.
Like black makeup, like pancake makeup all over.
Okay.
And you recognize, you've seen this Cainite before with these parties, with these sisters.
Oh, okay.
And they greet you and they say, well, hi, what are you doing here?
So I'll whip out the invitation, holding it up between two fingers, be like, I got an invite.
Starts laughing, says, oh, well, sure, a cutie like you would definitely be invited to something like this. Well, there's just one toll. You just have to give me a kiss and then you can go in.
Of course.
All right. So you kiss him. All right. And then, fine, I guess I can let you in now. And then they open up the door.
Okay.
And so you're flooded and inundated with the smell of blood. There's little lights, like little twinkly lights all around, like no candles. It's all electric. You see a dance floor on one of the things, in one of the rooms, and you see there's other adjoining rooms, and there's just people. It's like packed with Cainites and with humans. All sorts, all walks of life. You name it, they're there. You see just incredibly rich looking people in gowns. You see people that are just sort of like wearing just like work clothes, like they were just like out, like hanging out, like at the rail yard.
Right.
Like it's just a variety of people. And there's a table for food. There's also a bar with alcohol.
Of course.
You see that, again, there's people dancing, there's music, it's all types of like cacophony, like stuff going on, laughter, talking. You start to recognize some Cainites. You do see the Drousel sisters themselves holding court.
Okay.
You see that they're dressed in these beautiful red gowns. They're identical. They always dress identically. And they're just stunning, beautifully stunning. Have like these beautiful like bob haircut, black, like jet black hair, beautifully made up. And their gestures, they mimic each other. So they're like in tandem, just making the same gestures at the same time, laughing at the same time at the same jokes. And then other times you see that they will talk to other people, but sometimes like when they're holding court, they're just doing everything at the same time.
Cool.
They're just completely symbiotic. And they are part of the Primogen Council. They're the Toreador representatives, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
So yeah, so they... that they are there. So there's people there talking to them, asking them favors, etc. So, so they are there as usual. You are seeing, again, all different types of people there. Suddenly a voice from behind, you hear, it's like this gravelly, raspy voice. And it says, "Lucky. You decided to show up. It's so good to see you." And when you turn around, it's Alonzo Guillen.
Oh, okay.
He's in a beautifully tailored suit in all of his ugly Nosferatu-ness. He's also part of the council as well.
Okay.
His teeth are like they're like a barracuda's teeth.
Right.
Like they're all sharp and pointy from top to bottom. His eyes are kind of fish-like. His skin is not fun to look at.
Right.
His hair, there's no hair. His hands are gnarled and kind of webbed. And so he's holding a glass of what you smell as blood. And so he says, so they've outdone themselves again, haven't they?
Well, they certainly have. Is there any particular occasion?
Nah, they just wanted to do it.
Fair enough.
Yes. There's a lot here. There's a lot to look at.
Yes, indeed there is. Say, you haven't seen Sister Bliss here tonight, have you?
Oh, yeah, she's here. She's, let me see. So he's looking around. And it's just like, it's still, I think, maybe, I'm not sure how you feel about being around this particular type of vampire. Because you've seen different types. And I don't know how you feel about seeing, like, the really kind of more grotesque, monstrous-looking canites.
That's a good question. I think because of my nature, I'm actually kind of okay with, different appearances, right? Like it doesn't bother me. I'm not like xenophobic, and I'm not, I'm not put off by other, looks of people just in general, So it's just kind of like, we're all vampires here. They just look on the outside what we look like on the inside.
Oh, wow. That's so evolved of you.
It's very deep.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, I'm not a complete trash can,
Right. So Alonzo takes a swig from his glass. He's like, yeah, I think she might be over. She might be in the other room somewhere.
All right. Well, thanks there.
Yeah,
chum.
sure. Don Sebastian's been missing you.
Oh, has he now?
Yeah, he's mentioned you a couple times, so you better go to his next gathering whenever that happens.
Yeah, I'll be sure to do that. Absolutely. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, sure. I gotta go talk to somebody. So he goes off. You also see that the Vines are here as well. Yes. Edward and Vera. And they are looking a little... They always just look kind of awkward, like as much as they are talking with folks, etc. There's just a very awkward air to them. And you notice how discerning they are with who they choose to spend time with. They're always spending time with the same people. It's like they're afraid to kind of get out of their little bubble. Like they would never talk to you.
Right.
But you know about them.
No, yeah. Pasadena royalty.
Exactly. So they came all the way from Pasadena to this party.
All right.
So you're making your way through the rooms. And so you're seeing that Florence is also there. She looks at you and nods.
I nod in return.
And you hear her voice in your head saying, I knew you'd show up. And she turns away. And so you're moving through the room. Different rooms. All right. So as I mentioned, like Sister Bliss has that habit that she wears constantly, right? And tonight's no exception. So as you're moving your way through to there's different groups of people making out. Some people are playing cards to get, like, there's just little tables set up. Like people could just do whatever they want. And Sister Bliss is sitting alone at one of these little smaller tables. And she has a tarot deck in front of her that she's kind of shuffling and playing with.
Interesting. Is there a chair opposite?
Or you could find one easily.
I will just take that one and have a seat.
Well, she doesn't acknowledge you. She's continuing to shuffle.
Telling fortunes tonight, sister?
I don't tell fortunes.
No?
Mm-mm.
What are the cards for then?
They're to show you who you really are. She's not blinking. She's not looking up at you. And her fingers are unnaturally long, white.
Yeah.
With these very long red nails. And like you've never been this close to her.
Yeah.
So the habit you see is like kind of hanging off of her. Like she's much thinner than what you would think.
Yeah.
It's very loosely hanging on her. There's a couple of wisps of like white hair coming out, like matching her skin. And when she does eventually look up at you, her eyes are very red. Like brown and red rimmed. Her mouth looks like a gash. But it's not lipstick or anything.
Yeah,
it's just like naturally.
Maybe she's born with it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'll say, well, you care to deal a few cards out for a poor schlub like myself?
Oh, sure, of course. So she starts to shuffle the cards in a very, like, it's like the cards are sort of like floating almost in terms of the way that she's like shuffling them with these really long fingers. She kind of spreads them over the table, gathers them up again, shuffles them some more. And she turns out 3 cards.
Okay.
All
right.
And so she's like tapping each one with her finger. So you see a reverse 10 of cups. You see the devil reversed. And the third card is the Empress. And so she looks up at you. What do you see?
Well, the devil. That can't be good.
And she just sort of smiles. Says, well, that would be a peasant's answer. Are you really not that far removed from all of this riffraff?
I come from simple origins. I'm a simple man.
I can tell. What else do you see?
Rating me for filth.
What else do you see?
Well, the Empress, what's that all about?
It's a reflection of the divine feminine. So whatever you are will be reflected back to you in female form.
Oh, really?
Sooner than you think. But it'll end poorly. And so she wipes the cards away.
I'm just looking at the 10 of cups here.
It's reversed.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's like a rainbow of cups. Reversed. That's not good. All right. All right. So she sweeps them away. And I say, well, do you have anything else to tell me?
So she kind of looks confused. Like, I don't have any business with you, Cesar.
Of course. Maybe I'll be seeing you around. I get up. Do a little phantom hat tip. Make my way back into the crowd.
So when you turn, in the doorway is the most beautiful woman you've ever seen in your life. Like, you've seen many women.
Yeah.
You've been around many women.
Yeah.
And you are completely... This surpasses the memory of Paloma, because I can guarantee you that the memory probably looks better than the reality of Paloma. And at this point in time, who knows what Paloma looks like, really?
Well, try not to think about it, really.
This is she's very pale, which is typical. She's wearing all black, and her face is this perfect little upside down heart. These big brown eyes. And her hair is very long, but you can tell that she's pinned it up to look like a bob.
Yeah, right.
And she has these like barrettes in her hair that are like sparkling green, like emeralds. And she's wearing kind of the more classical kind of flapper outfit. But it has like long sleeves.
Okay.
And she's wearing another like necklace of like emeralds, like sparkling green.
Mm-hmm.
And her hair is like finger waved very beautifully, dark brown hair.
Okay.
And red lipstick, like blood red. And she's just staring at you from across the room.
Does she look particularly innocent?
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. I do get a reroll for my luck, Mary.
I know you do.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She looks innocent.
Good. That's good. All right. 2 successes.
Okay. So you feel... How does that feel?
So I feel like... I don't encounter this all the time, especially not here in the City of Angels. But... Or should I say the City of Devils? But I do... I'm sure I've encountered it time to time in the past. So it's kind of a familiar feeling of like emotion, like actual emotions welling up. You know, my shriveled little heart almost skips a beat if it was beating. And and I feel very just this potpourri of different emotions. You know, anger, fear, lust. Just general desire to like be next to this person, be near this person, you know. And so I have to like close my eyes and like pinch the bridge of my nose, you know, regain my composure, and then open my eyes again. She's
still there, staring at you.
I will float over as if on casters. I'll come up to her. I'll say, don't believe I've seen you around here before, stranger.
Oh, I've seen you. I already know you.
Do you now? Mm-hmm. Who am I?
Well, this time you're lucky.
I am indeed if I met you tonight.
So she kind of laughs and says, yes. I thought it was time for me to make an appearance.
Oh, very well. Have you met our hosts?
Oh, yes, I know them very well.
Oh, do you now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I must admit I'm caught a bit flat-footed by all this. I thought I knew all the Canaanites in town.
Not all of them.
All right. Sorry.
And so she extends her hand to you and says, I'm Catalina Ibarra.
Ooh, Catalina. I like it. Ibarra?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ibarra.
How do you spell it?
Iberra.
IBE. Okay. RRA.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to get a little handout with character portraits and stuff?
Yeah, I got to work on that.
Okay.
I do. Okay. So if you want, all right. So you get 1 point at the end of a chapter. We're at the end of a chapter.
Okay. Got it.
What have you learned?
Oh, gosh. Well, let's see. I've learned that this morphine addiction might have a downside.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I've learned that I don't know every Canaanite in the city like I thought I did.
True. All right. You get a point for that.
Okay.
You definitely played your character very well.
Oh,
you
thank
did
you.
very well, entertainingly and appropriately.
Thank you.
But you did great.
Excellent.
And then heroism, there really wasn't anything to do there.
That's going to be rare, few and far between.
But I'm going to give you a second point for role playing since you're getting to know this character and you are, you're getting into it and you're developing ideas. So I think that's really good. And yeah, that's where we will leave it.
All right. Well, right off the bat, I'm going to spend those 4 points.
Shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, this is how you power level.
You need a herd member too. You need a herd member.
I do. Well, that I should get back automatically. I don't have to
you
pay
will.
for
No. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying you should think about.
Oh, right. Who the next one will be. Anyway, I am buying up another point of willpower because I don't like having 4 willpower.
That's really a lot. Not very much. So.
Not good. It's all those years as a ghoul,
Right.
Kind of wore down my willpower. So.
Well, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks for the game.
Thank you. You did an excellent job, and I cannot wait to do more.
We will.
All right.
Very soon.
Good.
All right.
All right.